Trent Petersen is with me today. His business CableWise has been a major sponsor of the PCR for years, and it's now time for Trent to step inside the ring on October 7. We chat about his team, his music career, family, and what's really important in life. Special thanks to CableWise, a major sponsor of today's guest, and along with Gobsmack Sports Mouthguards, form the foundation of the PCR sponsorship, which makes these incredible events and these life-changing journeys possible. So please welcome Trent the Viking Petersen.
Yep.
This is all the stuff.
They look good. I love Taurus and Barry. Like, fuck, that's going to be a brilliant fight.
This one here.
Oh, yeah. 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 So glad they're fighting fight 3. Yeah.
It kicks off so well, doesn't it?
Oh, it's so good.
Do you know Alex's history?
I don't know. The one thing that I do know, though, is when I first met him.
Yeah.
And Gleno introduced us to him and said, "Oh, hi," everyone introduced themselves to Alex.
Yeah.
And I said, "G'day, mate, how are you?"
Because he came in a bit later.
Yeah. I said, "G'day, mate, how are you?" I shook his hand and Glenn said, "Mate, he's not a fucking mind reader. You got to tell him your name as well." And I thought, shit, I better do that. But he was just a really humble guy, And I said to him, "Have you fought before?" And he goes, "No, never." So
he's a liar.
I looked at his ears and I went, "Your fucking ears tell a different story there, buddy." Yeah. You've been doing mixed MMA? He's like, "Yeah, I haven't boxed." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Have you seen his fights?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. But have you seen Barry fight?
Yeah. How good is that going to be?
Holy shit, man. Holy shit. I'm telling you, it's...
Barry is slick.
Barry's amazing. Like, so I sparred Barry once and like, I'm a big guy, right? So I don't move as fast as these small guys. But shit, his left hook, mate, I had to stop him and tell him that I'm going to go and get my jaw from the car park. Like, I was like, whoa, mate. I got home that night and I couldn't eat because of my jaw.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So he's, and that was him going at probably fucking 50%. So
they're both...
It's going to be a great fight. That's what I say. I'm glad that it's early because I want to watch it.
They're so evenly matched. Both of them.
Yeah.
Barry did surprise me in the sense of I saw Barry, and being the judgy person I am, I thought it'll be interesting to see how he goes. Like a little Irish fella.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was Irish at the time until he started talking. I went, oh, okay, yeah, maybe. And then he started going. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
This guy had hit you 30 times on the way down. And then I saw Alex and I went, oh.
Well, I got the pleasure of watching Barry spar Nige yesterday.
Oh, how'd that go?
Nige didn't touch him. Couldn't touch him.
He's so quick.
Yeah. Barry was just like a whippet, just around that ring. Amazing. Yeah, really good.
These two are great fighters, aren't they? There is just a beautiful lineup. Have you? Do you know the order?
Yeah. Well, yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, well, this is the order here. These are the numbers. These aren't in order.
Yeah.
So we kick off with Jazz, who's come up a treat.
Yeah.
She's going up against Maddie. I haven't seen Maddie fight too much yet.
Yep.
But from what I hear, spot on. Fight 2. Look at these first 3.
Yeah, I know.
Fight 2.
I know. Bella. Jesus. Oh, let me tell you a little story. Right?
Tell me a story.
So,
all ears.
2 things. I did laugh like the first time. Like, I've known Bella for a while from Good Vibes, back in the Anarchy days. I joined when it was Anarchy, and
that's where I met you.
Yeah.
Oh,
and she, we were just chatting away, and she said to me, she goes, I think I'm the youngest one here. And I said to her, really? How old are you? And she goes, I'm 21. I said, 21? I said, did you know I'm over double your age? She goes, how old are you? I said, 44. She goes, you're older than my dad, right? So instantly I get tarnished as this, well, not tarnished, but I get this label as the gym dad. But she first started it saying, oh, you're the gym daddy? I'm like, no, that's wrong.
No.
You can't do that. It has to be gym dad. I'm fine with dad, not the daddy bit, that's fine. So, no, it's good. But I sparred Bella last night and Bella has this ability to slip and like put a cross in, but it's just comes straight up under your guard and straight up under your nose, and it was just phenomenal. She pins it, so that's going to be a killer fight. That one,
because Danielle I haven't seen her. I haven't even seen her train. I know she has been training, but I haven't.
She's
at
fast,
times,
real fast.
she comes from some good stock as well.
Yeah, big time.
Didn't her old man coach Danny Green at one point? Sure, that was it.
Don't know that much.
Her sister can fight,
but I've seen her fight, and she can fight. I've seen the two of them spar against each other in the ring, and even that, like, had the whole counterbalance gym just stop and just watch. Yeah, it was really good.
That's something else. Barry and Alex, geez, they're tight.
Yeah. I've got a real soft spot for Bazza, though. Real soft spot. Yeah, he's just such a nice guy.
He is.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that obviously Alex isn't. I've met Alex, he's a nice guy, but Team Blue, so whatever.
We should do the tips.
Yeah.
Straight off the. Okay, first one, you can tip. I know how this is going to go. First tip: Jasmine against Maddie.
Yeah, well, Jasmine for sure.
Bella and Danny.
Yeah, look, I reckon Bella will come off with a win on that. I do. Yeah. I'm just going to pick all the reds.
I know you do. I'm not. My silence isn't saying that I think Danielle's going to win or Bella's going to win. They're just unpickable.
Yeah, but
imagine odds. Imagine if we were betting. That'd all be $1.80.
Yeah, I do. I love the matchups, and I love what the boys do going through the matchups. And this is the first time that I've been able to see them do the matchups.
Yep.
So I've never been involved in the match. Not that I was involved in these ones, but I've never been this involved in the Corporate Rumble.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's amazing. As I said to Nige, I said he's got me for life now. So, Cable Wires have sponsored him, said for 5 years, but they've got me. I'll be down at the gym for the next one. I'll help them train.
What suburb do you live in?
Kensington. So it's only like 10 minutes.
Just down the road.
It's 10 minutes away. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So,
next one, Jessica against Innie.
Look, again, I'll always pick the Reds for Jess, but Jess just has to probably not doubt herself.
Confidence?
Yeah. Oh, she gets confidence, but it's like anything, and I suffer from this as well. When you're training, if you go up against someone that's just far better than you when you're sparring, and they really touch you up, you sort of leave the ring feeling a bit deflated, a bit like, this is no good. And even when you're sparring against Nigel, like, you can tell when he's letting you hit him and when he's not letting you hit him, and even that's a bit deflating. But then all you need is one or two. It's like golf. This is what I keep saying, right? So boxing's like golf, right? So in many ways, like, you only need that one good shot towards the end of each round, and it'll pump you back up for the next round.
Yeah.
For that one shot that comes through and you get them, or 2-3 or a combo, it really gets you going. But if you hit a bad shot, same as golf, you just feel a bit deflated, a bit like, fuck, why am I even doing this? And I think it's also about not trying to overthink it. You want to go in and try and think about how you're going to punch, how you're going to do things, but don't try and visualise the win before you've won. Take it easy. So that's, I think, with people like Jess, very much like myself, it's about getting out of your own head.
Must be hard, though.
It is hard. Yeah, it is hard. Hardest thing I've ever done. I mean, I'm not a fighter at all. Never have been. I've had this miraculous ability to talk my way out of everything, So I've never...
It's not hard to avoid fights, though, is it?
No, it's fucking easy.
Let's go.
And so stepping into this and doing this, but, like, I was a bit worried. So the first time I sparred Nigel, he just... Jesus.
Touch out?
Oh, mate. Like nothing I've ever seen.
How frustrating
mate,
is it?
I was almost like he hit me once or twice and I thought that was it. So I'd just drop my hands. I'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa. And he'd just keep yelling at me, put your hands up. And he'd just keep hitting me. And I remember getting home and saying to Amy, I said, that was actually the best thing I've ever done. To be in a controlled environment with fighting, to learn how to fight and take a punch, you realise, I can take a punch. I played footy. I've done all that sort of stuff. So I know how to take a hit. But... yeah, it's very strategic, boxing. Love it. So
it just must be so frustrating because I see a few of the fighters get in there and maybe they spar with Glenn or Nige and they throw their specialty combo and nothing touches and they miss and then they get smacked back. It must be... Imagine the state of mind or the just the presence that you must have to be able to change everything about what you're doing and get hit at the same time and not have all your senses because you probably cop the punch as well.
But I have noticed as well, the one thing, like, rule 101 with boxing, keep your hands up.
Oh, yeah.
Right, keep your hands up. But I've noticed that Glenn and Nige don't, because they don't need to.
No.
Right? Because they're fighting us.
Right?
Yeah. So they don't. I'd like to see them do that more, put their hands up like they were fighting someone good. Like not just covering, but actually when they're standing there, like actually keep the hands like this. So Gleno really sort of stands like this, his hands out like this. And what I've seen is a few people, including myself, they try and emulate these guys when they get in there. And it's just, obviously, as amateur as we are and as brand new to this as we are, we shouldn't be doing that. So, listen to me. I'm now a boxing coach. I go through all this. This is what I do with hobbies, But no, so it would be good to sort of see them do that. And maybe they will now that we've split. I spar Nige every Saturday, and I only do it every Saturday. Give him 6 days rest between the next one. So just to, he's got a lot of training he needs to do. So I like to give him a bit of a breather between fights. So.
So, we're sounding great today.
I should actually just say to everyone out there listening, this is laryngitis, Trent. So, normal Trent's a lot louder. But,
Jeez, thank God he's not here today.
Yeah.
And this is, I don't know what's wrong with me anymore. I'm fine. I got the all clear.
Yeah, well, so I'm glad because I thought that maybe I was the one that was spreading it, right? That I was the spreader. But then I've heard a couple of other PCR interviews where other blokes were crook earlier than me. So I'm like,
someone's come in here and given it to me.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm looking at. Maybe Bella.
Yeah. I don't know.
Got to blame someone.
It was Justin that was sick first, wasn't it?
This is Justin Abernathy, probably.
Yeah. What a fucking legend he is, huh?
He's such a good guy. How's the stance? Did you see the stance?
Yeah.
Nick Diaz down, Nate Diaz.
I do, just like going on to everyone, like I know, Justin said it in his, and I do love all the piss takes and all that sort of stuff with the corporate rumble. I love it. I get right into it. I do love it. But I'm one of these people. I go into a brand new crowd and I've got no issue. Like you ask anyone there, I've come in and I'm immediately the show off. I'm the centre of attention. And that's just been me my whole life. But I'll always go in and I'll just find the good quality out of everyone. And just focus on that. And everyone there, like every single person in there in the Corporate Rumble, like Glenn and Nige have this ability to pick just a group of dead set legends. Like everyone gets along, everyone's a family. Like there's no
good people. Aren't
yeah,
they?
there's no
dickheads.
Nah,
that was the one rule. Glenn told me. I asked him years back, "How do you pick?" And he just said, "No dickheads." Yeah,
so fuck knows how I got through, but anyway, probably all the money I give him.
I saw one of Cable. Firstly, let me just point out that I'm a big fan of you and Cable Wise, and I know some of the other guys have joked about it in the past, but I hope that none of that was...
No, it's all...
I saw, I was driving down Beaufort Street here, and I saw a Cable Wise truck or four-wheel drive out the front of a gym that's being refurbed down the road there.
Yeah.
And I went, I'm going to take a photo of this and hang shit on him. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this was early in the morning. No other car was there. This guy was the first one here, ready to go. Yeah. And I went, I can't even hang shit on this because I respect this guy. Yeah. He's the first here. And like by the end of the day, there's like 20 trades there. But you just seem to have a good business, a good crew. Your crew, from what I hear, you've got the same no dickhead policy.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, myself and my two business partners, we've been around now for 20 years.
That is a long Jesus.
We all worked together before that as well. So, we've known each other for 25 years.
What's your background of trade?
Yeah, electrical.
Okay,
electrician. So, we started Cable Wise, and look, we've been through our ups and downs and what have you. We've taken risks, no risk, no reward sort of scenario, and some have paid off, some haven't. But we're here now, and we're the best we've ever been. We're the strongest we've ever been, biggest crew we've ever been. We've got AV, CIS, integrated services now, lighting control systems and BMS systems, audio, visual, electrical comms. So I love it, and I wouldn't do anything different. My job is this, when they say, if you enjoy what you're doing, you never work a day in your life.
Oh, yeah.
My job is talking. My job is talking, having difficult conversations, having awkward conversations, whereas I love them, you know. So my philosophy in life is the best things in life sit just outside your comfort zone. So find out where your absolute limit is, where your absolute embarrassment level is, and then just go that one step further. You know, it's like when you see the matchups and you see me walk in dressed as a nerd, you know, completely random, but why not?
Oh, yeah.
You know, like I give zero shits what people think. You know,
that is the key, isn't it?
And it's just about, you know, I'm not doing this for anyone else in that room other than me. Gleno and I had a good laugh about what we were going to do and how we were going to play it all out, what have you. And not even they knew that I was turning up like that.
I didn't.
Yeah. So, and it was good. Like this is the thing. Right, so I went. I actually didn't even know I was going to do it. So this is the other thing that I do. Everything that I do is spur of the moment. Right? So even down to shopping, like, you know, everyone or my wife hates it, like how I shop, because I'll go to the shops. I'll go, I might buy a pair of shorts or something, and I'll go to the shops and I'll come home with a pair of shorts, 2 T-shirts, and a jacket. You know, and I'll be home in 15 minutes.
That's okay.
Yeah. Half the time I won't even try them on. You know, just that'll do. And it's the same as that. You know, I went to Kmart to try and have a bit of a look around and about what I was going to do, and then I was walking around and I thought, oh, fuck this. You know, I'm sure I got something at home. And then I saw the pair of black glasses there.
Like mine.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And I thought, and I thought I'll put a Band-Aid in the middle of them, because every nerd has a Band-Aid in the middle of them. Yeah. So, and it's one of those things. You know, I do love, sticking up for the underdog, and nerds are king. I think we should all embrace them, because I think one day, we're going to be run by that and bloody AI. So
you will be. I'm just trying to find your photo here, mate.
I didn't know. There's one back up there of me on the puffer. Yeah,
look at that there.
Hey, that would scare the shit out of any opponent, wouldn't it?
Look at the slides.
I should have fucking put that. Why'd they put the red one up of me on the? They should have put that. That should have been my fight photo. Imagine that. Imagine going up against that. He is a fucking nutter.
You would. You just wouldn't know how to. You wouldn't know how to take it.
No, look at him. You know?
Nice glasses, though, mate. Only the best wear those.
So. Yeah. I did try and find a great beanie, but I couldn't find one.
It's a Sabre Rose one, mate. Where were we? Jesus, we're off topic.
I don't know, mate. That's going to happen a lot, man.
I don't mind. We've still got like 2.5 hours. Yeah. Plenty of time. Should we get back to these? These tips. Billy Quincroft.
Look, Billy, man, fuck, Billy, all the way. Like, no shit, yeah. Fuck, he's amazing. Like, seriously, from where he came in, when I first met him, I did actually think that Billy and I would be a really good matchup. And so that's
what I thought was going to happen.
His interview when he came in here, and and you pushed him into the fuck cable wise thing.
I didn't. He started it. I said you should be the villain.
Yeah, I don't care. But I thought we'd be a really good matchup. And then just as the weeks went on, he just went like that.
Really?
Like, like just he's just elusive in the ring.
Do you remember Owen Waite from last night?
He came down last night. Man.
He reminded me, maybe it's just the English thing, but he reminded me of Owen, just sort of not gangly, but just seemed to be hard to hit. And
I appreciate good fighters, because I don't consider myself a good fighter. So I really appreciate good fighters, and I appreciate how they move, how their heads move. And Billy's really got that down pat. And look, I won't lie to you, so is Josh. Josh is
just
really
comes
good.
in hard.
He's really good, and he's really slippery and what have you. But I just can't see Billy losing. I really can't. I just don't think it's in him. Honestly.
So it's 5-0 currently to the Reds. Don't worry, this happens every single time.
Yeah.
Kai Wong against Brandon Willington.
Yeah, look again, Kai, of course, any day of the week, right? Again, I don't get to. I haven't seen these guys, like the blue guys. I haven't seen them since we're split. So it's hard for me to say how they're going to go, because you change. Like when you split, it completely changes your whole fighting technique. Mainly because you know who you're fighting, and when you know who you're fighting, they'll train you for that person specifically. You know?
I don't think people realise how different you are at week 4 than you are at week 8.
Yeah.
People go, the same. No, you are completely different fighter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And look, Kai. So I haven't seen Brandon, so I don't know much about how he fights now. But I do know Kai, and I do know how Kai fights. And Kai's just another very slippery, elusive.
He'd be disciplined as well, wouldn't he?
With a jab that'll put you on the other side of the fucking ring. So, or is it a cross? Don't know. Watch out, Brandon.
Next one. Oh, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, look, I'll fucking kill him.
Let's talk about what we were saying.
Yeah.
How did you when you first walked in here?
Yeah.
And I had that Fat Burners Only shirt on.
Yeah.
Sponsor of Jared Darcy. Tell me how you described him.
I said he looks like a condom full of walnuts. Fucking just bumps and lumps fucking all over the place. Like, you know what I mean? With perfect teeth.
Oh, those teeth. It makes me sick how perfect
I mean,
they are.
I was wondering why he even wasted money on a mouth guard. He's already fucking got one.
He would love summertime music festival.
That's what I mean.
Imagine that shirt off, guns out.
Yeah, bum bag.
Yeah.
Have to.
One more layer of spray tan. I can get one more layer on.
But as I said, he's a great. It will be a good fight. Like as I said, the one thing that I do want to do is, and Jared and I have spoken about this. Like we just want to put on a good show, you know, because that's what people are there for. They're there for a show. You know, we're fighting. That's what I mean. Everyone needs to remember that one thing. You're fighting for Sava Rose, right? So that's what you're fighting for. You're fighting for charity. You're fighting for a crowd. You know, yes, a win, amazing. It'd be unreal, putting the belt around you. But as I said, I've been involved in the Corporate Rumble now for years, right? Years and years and years. And if you wanted to run through every single fighter that I've been involved with since day one right to now, I could not tell you who's won and lost. I might be able to tell on a few of them, but I couldn't a majority. And the reason is because you don't really remember or you don't really care. Once the fight's over, it's done. You know, the main thing is that everyone still just gets along after it.
No one's hurt.
No one's hurt. You know, that's what I also said. You know, Gleno made a comment like, you know, once during training, and he said, look, go 50%. He goes, I don't want to see anyone's nose sprayed across their face and all that sort of shit. And he goes, save that for fight night. Fight night, spread their nose across their face. And I thought to myself, like, that's a fighter's, you know, sort of comment, I suppose. And Glenn is a fighter and a fucking good one. You know, a really good one. The last thing you want to do is send someone back out to their parents and all that sort of stuff with a broken nose and stuff like that. So, which I don't think's really going to happen too much, you know. You know, you don't really see it too much. You see a bit of blood here and there. Like, you got some bleeders.
Got a bleeder.
Yeah, well, you do. Like, poor old Mikey, big Mikey. Love him, Fermi, but fuck, he's a bleeder. He's a bleeder. Yeah, big time. Fucking flicking like a band at him. Bleeds.
I was down there and I was mopping someone's nose up. I just got there. And I went, oh, geez. I think it was...
that was Mikey.
It was.
Yeah, that was Mikey. Yeah.
I just thought, I don't know what happened.
And I don't even think I'd hit him. I think it was the air.
Was it you that hit him?
Yeah, there's been a bit of that too. Like, you know, you just don't know. Like, I got lit up last night, big time.
Who by?
Vincey. Fuck. Ooh, let's get on to him.
Hey, Vince.
Well, let's go.
From Vince, from Invincible Electrical.
Legend of a bloke.
I call him the Premier Electrical.
I call him the Rib Cracker 4000. I approached Vince for a sponsorship. Fucking type bastard, wouldn't.
He felt bad, didn't he? He put out.
He did, yeah. And I had to say to him, look, I'm going to give you shit about it. Are you okay about that? Not here, just like from now on, forever. And he said, yeah, and he goes, like, you know, and I know these big boys, these footy boys, rugby boys, and me, and all that sort of stuff. Like, you can give each other shit, you know. That's
fine.
But yeah, I nicknamed him the Rib Cracker 4000. And then every time he went to spar against someone, I'd stop him and I'd go in and tell Vincy, just go easy, you know. And I did against Justin because it was like the week after that it happened, and I could see that Justin was a bit weird, going in against him, like, and so I just went over there and said, look, you know, take it easy on him. Just punch him in the head.
Oh, yeah.
Not in the ribs. Take his ribs easy. I didn't think much of it, and Justin sort of said to me after, he's like, "Thanks, man. Thanks for doing that. Looking after me." And it was just like, I'm looking after everyone there. So
he did speak very highly of you, Justin Abbott, I think. Yeah. No one wants to get injured. No one wants to get hurt. So no one wants their opponent, to get hurt.
Yeah, I think the reality is you want their ego hurt. That's what you want. You want them walking out going. The thing is, and I've always said, as long as you have done as much as you possibly can in the lead up to it, then you've already. As soon as you step into that ring, you've already won. Because I know I've been on the outside. I've done a lot of walking around. I do a lot of talking on the outside. I do a lot of interviews and all that sort of stuff. And there's 1,200 people out there in that crowd that I reckon out of that 1,200, there's 800 that are sitting there going, I reckon I could do that. Or, he's not keeping his hands up. Or, he should have pivoted. He should have jabbed. He should have done anything. So, look, one thing I'd like to put out to all of those guys there, fucking do it. Like, sign up for it. It is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. Like physically, fitness-wise, everything, mental. In my opinion, like I've got from this already what I wanted to get from it. So a win would be amazing on top, but I'm not going into this fight thinking to myself I have to win. I want to go into this fight thinking to myself, I want to put on a good show for everyone. I love being a show off, love being a show pony. So
just imagine you'll walk out.
Yeah, well, yeah. But
don't spoil it for me. Don't spoil it for me.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not all about me. It never is with the Corporate Rumble. I take a lot of clients and consultants and what have you to the Corporate Rumble with me. And, I think with that, you've got to remember that the night, it's not about you. And I think people, when they get into their own heads and they think to themselves, shit, I've got to do this. I've got 30 or 40 people. Shit, I've got fucking 60, 80 people there in tables. So it's about them. It's about me putting on a good show for those guys there. The whole crowd, everyone pays, people look at the tickets, they look at the price of the tickets and they go, oh, geez, that's expensive. Then they learn what they get. But I guarantee out of that 1,200 people in that room, I reckon 1,000 of them are return people.
Oh, yeah. Same people.
And that's what I keep saying to people. When you're trying to sell tickets, like I heard Justin sort of saying, and you see him on Facebook sort of pushing his tickets and all that sort of stuff and trying to get people to buy them. And I know I made a joke saying, or pay for them yourself and claim it and all that sort of stuff and what have you. But the one thing, I'll talk to Justin about this. I won't see him again until the fight. But if he's trying to sell tickets, just to remind people that 1,000 people generally in that room will buy tickets over and over and over and over. So the only reason why they would do that is because how good a night it is. So if someone's new coming to it, guaranteed they'll come again.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
It is funny that the price seems to be, and I never talk about the price on here, but the price seems to be the stumbling block for so many people. But once they've done it once, then next time it's, let's go again.
But it's like, I don't want to sound like a dickhead, like saying, what's money? But it's just money. You know what I mean? Like, it is good. You get to dress up. You get to,
But how many former fighters say it was the best experience of their life? And I'm not talking about the people who won. Yeah. I'm talking about the people that didn't get the win.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm already saying it's the best experience of my life now. Do you know what I mean? So win or lose, it'll be the best experience that I've ever had.
How can you convince people? Not convince them, but how can you make it not sound like a sales pitch? Because people ask me about it, and I just say...
Are you talking about going or going in it?
Well, both. Yeah. Like my mates will say, should we go watch? And I said, you've got to do it. But you've also got to do your backgrounds on every fighter as well. That's why I try to get everyone in here so people can understand. As soon as I'm invested in every single fight. Yeah. Everyone means the world to me because I know the people. Yeah. If you only know one person, that fight's good, but then it might be a bit like of the unknown for the rest of the fight. For the rest of the fights, if you actually did your backgrounds on every fighter, suddenly you are hooked, and then it's over. Whole night. Yep.
And it's amazing. Gleno and Nige. It's the one thing I actually said to Gleno and Nige that win or lose, I want to make a speech at the end of the night, and mainly just to thank them.
Yeah.
The effort that these boys go to, what they. Again, I've never seen it in all the years I've sponsored. Now I've seen it. I've seen what they go through, even down to people pulling out like injuries and all that sort of stuff, and them getting people back in. And it's just insane.
It is non-stop.
It's just holy shit. It's blown me away. It just they do such a good job. Those two.
It is madness to think of all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you don't see. Yeah,
that's exactly right. It's the silent heroes. That's what it is. Same as a footy club.
People call me that, silent hero.
Yeah. They just call me a hero. Anyway, so that's I think that was fight 7.
That's fight 7, and we haven't even got on to question 1 yet. Fight 8. Mike McCormack, I thought I would have chatted to him by now. I was unwell last week and I had to put off his interview. It's coming up.
Yep.
Him against Big Dave.
Yeah, look, that one there, again, I'm going to go red. I'm just advising. I'm always going to go red.
Every single person has gone their team.
Yeah. I know Dave pretty well now. So he's a mate of Gleno's, and he's a mate in the same sort of circles on the offside of I am as well. So Dave, as long as Dave can get his fitness up a bit, then he'll do all right. But it's the fitness side of things. Before coming into this, I've got Tim D'Souza and Brad Macker who have done it before.
That interview that you guys did was one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Brad Macker, right?
Did you?
Great question.
What would you prefer, punching the bags or getting punched around the ring?
What about? Thanks, Trent. Great question, Trent. First off, thanks, Capewise.
Same answer. But just on that one, I just want to clear something. Can I clarify something? I just want to clarify something on that. Right? And I'm hoping everyone's listening to this, because the one thing I wanted Macca to do was answer the question properly about how that fight came about, right? Because the way what's out there at the moment is bullshit. Right?
Didn't he? We talked about it because I interviewed both those guys.
Yeah, and how it actually happened.
Because from my knowledge, they were at an event and they were talking shit to each other, and then it started from there.
Yeah, that's basically sort of the crux of it. But what it was, and if you know Tim D'Souza, which you do after your interview and obviously in the fight, and people out there know him, like we call him Dr. Zoidberg actually first, right? Because of his laugh. Yeah, because of his laugh, because he goes whoop, 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 whoop. Like that when he laughs. Fucking hilarious, right? Legend of a guy. Love him. Yeah. But we were sitting at the Corporate Rumble, and Brad Macker has done some boxing before, when he was younger and what have you. So he knows a bit, and he watches boxing. He's into it, right? And there were two fighters. I don't know who they were. They were fighting, and Macker was sort of like, he was like, oh, and Macker's a bit like, oh, geez, fuck, oh, he should have gone in with a cross like that and doing it. And Timmy's sitting there with his beer and his back. He's just like, he's
Timmy loving a drink.
And he's like this. He goes to me, he goes, fuck off, Macca. He goes, I'll fucking smash you. Like,
Timmy D'Souza.
Yeah, so you can imagine that. And Macca's like, fuck off, Tim. You couldn't smash shit. Oh, fuck off. I'll smash you. I'll smash you any day in the ring, any day. And as soon as I heard that, I went, boys.
Oh, it's on.
So I grabbed my phone at that point in time and messaged Glenn and Nige and said, I've got two fighters for the next Corporate Rumble, Brad McElroy and Tim D'Souza, and sent it through. And I fucking held him to it. I held him. I was not letting him go at all. And the lead up to that fight was hilarious, right? Because we were sponsoring, so Cablewise was sponsoring Macca. Yeah. And another good mate of mine, Matty Carey from Modular, Modular was sponsoring Tim. So we're all mates, right? So all of us are mates. And so I felt sort of like, Macca's going to me, he's like, oh, mate, I'm going to kill him. Jesus Christ, it's a bit unfair. It was
close.
Yeah, a bit unfair. Like, I'm going to kill him. And I'm like, fuck. Yeah, maybe. And I'm talking to Tim, and Tim was actually really humble, after his I took that as probably worry, that he was a bit worried about fighting Macca.
Turns out after the fight or before?
No, before, in the lead up.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a bit of worry and what have you. It wasn't. It was just Tim. Tim's Tim.
He's very reserved kind of.
Macca got off the piss, trained hard, at least for the 4 weeks. I think the first 4 weeks he stayed on vodkas and stuff like that, but the last 4 weeks got off the piss. Timmy D'Souza drank fucking solid like it was an Olympic fucking sport, right, all the way up. That was a year that we had the grand final here in Perth, remember?
Oh,
right?
Jesus.
Yeah. Anyway, we all went to the grand final. He went with another mate of ours, Mikey, from BME, and so we were over here in corporate box, and he was over here in the corporate box, right? And I wish I had the fucking photo. I wish I could find it. I tried looking for it before I came here. But Mikey sent me a photo of Timmy D'Souza, and this is in the fourth quarter, and Timmy D'Souza's sitting here with a beer in his hand, pint of beer, like this, asleep, fucking blind. 1 week out from the fight. Right?
I was going to say that was, the week prior.
Yeah. So Timmy took about 2.5 days off the piss, I think, before the fight. Got crook, like real crook, and then, fought. And in my opinion, put up a bloody good fight.
Macca did win, but it wasn't domination.
No, it was not at all. Not as much as we thought.
No.
I thought, holy shit, Timmy's going to get killed going this, because he's like, fuck. The one thing I've noticed through my training is, like, I stopped drinking I was in Melbourne for the orientation, and I will admit I drank probably 8 weeks worth of piss in those 2 days. But as soon as I got back on the Sunday, I stopped, and I haven't had a drink since. Training hard, early nights, all that sort of stuff, eating right, and it's still bloody hard. So I can only imagine how hard it was for Tim, like going all the way through and doing it. So I've been trying to get him to do a rematch. Yeah.
So you reckon that prime Timmy in good condition?
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
Could go 1-1.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Macca's in a real good place at the moment, like mentally, physically, everything. So Tim would have to work pretty hard to get to that level, but I reckon he could do it, and I reckon it'd be a bloody good fight.
Could you imagine if Timmy won?
Of course, whoever's on red would win. Of course, yeah.
Can you imagine if if Tim did win, he would have all these years of this stuff held up, and he would just never let Macca live it down, would he?
Well, the other thing as well is what Tim fucked up on, right, is Tim's great at trash talk, right? So he doesn't
look it though.
No.
He looks like the very softly spoken, but you can see it in him.
But he said to Macca in front of me, we're at the pub, and he said to Macca, he goes, "When I win, I'm going to follow you around for the rest of the night with the belt on and just be in your ear the whole night. You will not get rid of me." And I remember walking out of the pub thinking, "You fucking idiot, man. Like, you idiot." Like, because if it doesn't go your way, what do you reckon's going to happen now? And it's exactly what fucking happened. Macca just did not leave him alone, just followed him everywhere you saw Tim. Macca's behind him, giving him these odds. It was hilarious. Yeah.
Because they fought, I think it was fight 7 of their event. It was quite early.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think there's a photo. I've got a photo here of Macca's win, of me doing a...
did you present the belt, did you?
Yeah, so there's that one there of Macca doing a shoey.
Oh, Jesus. So that was the first event at the Crown.
It was,
memory.
yeah. It was,
right. First one I went to as well.
Yeah. So, it was
that was a good night.
It was a real good night.
Some good fights in that one. Yeah. Oh, Chris Mells nearly had it won, 2.5 rounds in the bank.
Yeah.
And then just drop the hands. Yeah. Can't drop the hands.
No. It only takes one punch. Like, as I said,
big boys.
Another guy that's been helping me a lot with training's Ryan Darcy, not related to Jared Darcy at all. But Ryan Darcy, he'll be on my table. He's phenomenal boxer. Phenomenal. And, he taught me pretty quickly what happens when you drop your left hand.
Oh, yeah.
And he rolled under and came up and gave me a right hook and clocked me and knocked me out with headgear on.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So it was keep that hand up. Keep that fucking hand up.
There's some big boys in this. I was looking at the weights of everyone. There's some big boys in this list this time around.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, there's there's more chances of those big hits. And I looked down and went, and then you've got Barry, who can do the same at that size.
It's like harder. Mate.
And Alex, who's at that size, can do it.
Yeah.
It's
got nothing to do with strength. In fact, like that's what everyone's been telling me. Like, actually, the bigger you are, the slower you are.
Mm.
So it's and not necessarily more power. So because it's like cracking your hips. You know, everyone sort of says pretend you got little T-Rex arms on your hips and you're trying to hit people with those. You know, not your fists. There's so much involved. I'm thinking boxing's just putting a set of gloves on and punch shit out of each other as hard as you can. You know,
it's not such an art, isn't it?
Yeah, real art. And you watch these guys like your Barrys, and even Billy. You know, I put Billy in that same category. Even Vince now. You know, for a big guy, he can move, and he knows his range. So yeah, man, yeah, Raymond's yeah. This will be interesting.
This will be good. Keep going. Let's keep going through. So we got Vince and Raymond Schwartz. That's the one you were talking about then. Razor Raymond, though.
Yeah, look, Raymond is one of those guys. He came in at the start, and I saw him at the start, and he was quite slow, on the slower side. And again, anything I say like this, nothing. Like, I'm not saying I'm quick.
Yeah,
but he was a bit. But he's one of these guys that you can tell he's put the effort in. He really has. He's trained, obviously, and he's trained on his movement. I sparred him, and he was very hard to hit. So, you know, he moves very well. But so does Vince. So I think the two of them, it's going to be a big fight, and it's going to be a lot of movement. So, it could be Vince and Raymond could be fight of the night, I reckon.
Any of these can.
Yeah.
I still reckon there's going to be someone. There's going to be someone, as it happens at every event, just pull something out that is just completely unexpected. Last time we had Phoebe, I know he didn't get the win, but Riley, Easy Bake Ovens, pulled something out. It's always someone that rises to the occasion, and you go, where the hell has this person been for the last 8 weeks? Yeah. Put on a clinic.
Yeah.
That's what's so exciting for me, is you just don't know who's going to turn up on the night.
Yeah.
Jeez. Chris Dodge against Abernathy?
Dodgy. Of course, Dodgy. Of course, Chris. Look, again, love Justin, but he can chatter. He can chatter. He throws out the shit cans. He's really shit canning the Reds. And look, Chris is good. Chris can move. He can really sort of move and throw some good punches. It'll be interesting to sort of see, because I think they're both around 80-something kilo.
I think so. Let's have a gander. See if I've actually got some stats on here. Where are we?
So I think they're it'll be interesting. I don't want to say too much again, because I don't want to give away people's secrets and stuff, but things that I've sort of seen in there, these two, Chris and Justin, are probably one of the best matched.
Yeah, around about 80, both of them.
Probably the best matched.
Yeah.
And they're all really well matched fights, but these two, same size, same height, same build, same everything, punch the same. The things that they do wrong are the same. From when I've sparred with them. Again, not saying that I'm better, but they're just it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be the winner out of that is going to be the one that can remember to do what they should do
and not get emotional.
Correct. And Justin's got a lot of his footy boys there.
Oh yeah,
which I think can work against you when you got a lot of people there, because
the North Mandurah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they're called, but the North
Magpies, I think.
Magpies, that is, of course, I should have known that. Stuart Katanich against Rory Kenner. Now, Stuart's fought before.
Yeah.
I haven't seen I did watch his actual fight. And Rory Kenner is a big boy.
Yeah, so I've only met Stuart a couple of times. He's only just brand new down there.
He replaced Matthew Cox, I believe, who the rib breaker
the rib cracker 4000.
ended that poor man's career early. Yeah.
So, Rory, big guy. Yeah, interesting. Be interesting, that one there.
That'd be weird. Yeah.
Like, Rory's just like, he screams bouncer, doesn't he?
He's so calm.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, he just screams big rig bouncer, stands there just like, fuck, whatever, man. Whatever. Like,
can you imagine trying to trash talk him?
could you imagine trying to rush past him? Like,
He
to
would
get
have
into
heard
a club?
He would have heard everything,
I know.
every insult that you could imagine.
Yeah.
He'd be like, yeah, I don't
He
care.
was actually telling me a funny story the other day, and I hope I'm allowed to sort of repeat this sort of shit. But he's because I've never been one of these people, right? But he says that his favourite people when they go out are the people that name drop.
Oh, yes.
So they'll get on the phone, they'll be like, I know so and so, or so and so's my uncle. You know, you better watch out. And he'll go, just wait 1 minute, and he'll pull his phone out and ring that person and go, hey mate, I've got a so and so here. Do you know him? You don't? All right. And the guy will be like, oh, sorry. And I could just picture that, right?
Oh,
just
yeah.
some pisshead just going,
Imagine.
like, yeah.
Imagine what you got to do.
And I could picture him doing that. Like, he would be so calm,
straight face,
so humble, just like,
no emotion.
1 second. You know what I mean? Like, fucking legend.
This is no emotion.
Yeah.
Imagine him fired up.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm interested in, you know? So,
Okay, next up.
Big rigs. Stuart's a big rig, man. He's a big boy.
Massive boys. I look at it, the way I look at it is when I believe we do have the honour of commentating again this year. And on one hand, I get so like emotional during the event. But also, someone said this to me before we did it the first time, is they said, imagine the mum of, like, whoever loses, imagine his mum watching it back and listening to what you say.
Yeah.
And that's why it's weird, just that one thing they told us. That's why we don't take sides. If someone gets hurt, I'm not going to get overexcited or anything. I'm probably more concerned about that person.
Yeah.
And with this event, first time, I think that there is the I mean, there's always a possibility, but there's a big possibility we're going to see a few stoppages here, which I don't want to see.
Well,
everything says I should just want.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you will. I don't know. I actually think so. I think Nige and Glenn have been doing this long enough now that Nige was sort of indicating that the Sports Combat Commission trusts them on their matchups, and the ref trusts them on their matchups. And you know, if you've got two big boys who can throw punches, you know, let them go. Like, what's the worst that's going to possibly happen in there? Let's be honest, you know.
Oh, yeah.
If someone's got their nose spread across their face or something, like, fair call, right? But if not, what's the worst that's going to happen, right?
I'm not saying that the fights aren't evenly matched, but there seems to be a larger percentage of people, this is just my opinion, that could end the night of the other person on this card.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. But I'm also mean, if someone gets knocked over, let them get up and go again, you know.
Let it go.
Don't just jump in. Like, I've seen way too many where they jump in and they end it way too quick. You know, and the poor old person who jumps up, you know, is sort of like just going like, what the hell? Like, you know, I'm fine. You know, I'm fine. Let me go again. And they're like, nah. And they've got to remember that what that does is stopping a fight, especially in the first round, it shortens the night. You know, people have paid a lot of money. They've paid big dollars to come and watch the fight.
There is that rule, though, that you only get one. I'm sure I heard him say this. I should read him, but you only get one knockdown or standing 8 count for the whole fight. None of this 3 in a round, 1 for the whole fight.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
if you go down for an 8 count in the first round,
that's it.
Can't even get a standing in the third.
No.
I think that's what happened. I think I know the fight you're talking about. Whether that was early or not, I'm not a ref. I can't say. The refs do a better job than I could.
That's right.
The judges do a better job than I could.
And that's right. Yeah, I don't know the first thing about it. You know, so we'll wait and see.
I'm heavily critical on some of the UFC judges.
Yeah.
Not these guys. Geez, what are we? Nice to see we're really flying through it today. We've been going an hour. The Dogs against the Monster.
Yeah, look.
Dogs' nickname is actually going to change as well.
Is it? What?
It is. I think because we put it up and it was Dougs, but I think he wants to change it to the Doug Father. I'm pretty sure it was the Doug Father.
Don't fucking do it.
He did send me something. Anyway, tell me about Doogs and Mongin.
So Doogs, Doogs is a great guy. He's another one that gave Cable Wise a little bit of trash talk, and I was going to get on here and say, mate, I can't trust anything that comes from a man that looks like his name's the spell check's nightmare. So fucking hell, man! Like, just wanted to throw an extra couple of letters of the alphabet in there, hey? Just
hang on, I'm looking at your. Just tell me this is correct.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
That is right.
Yep.
How did I butcher that first time?
Oh man, everyone does.
We're actually just going through your fighter artwork. Beautiful. That's all I needed.
Yeah, look, Ian's good. Be a good fight. Again, it's just getting out of his own head. Last night he sort of came out of the sparring sort of things saying that he just felt a little bit less confident. But man, I don't know. Like, with that, I think I try and go into the training nights, the sparring sessions and what have you. And I don't know. Part of me, I want to try and pump everyone up. So I try and give everyone as much confidence as I can. Like, tell them what they're really good at. If they're dropping their hands or what have you, tell them they're dropping their hands. If they're doing this, like, really, really pump their tyres up, because that's what you want. You want everyone to be pumped up. You know, I'm lucky. I don't need my tyres pumped up to be confident. I mean, I just am. Not necessarily in the fight. I'm not saying that with the fight, but it's really good to sort of go in and sort of watch people when they're a bit deflated, and you give them a bit of encouragement, a bit of a pump up, and they do it. It's the same as, it's no different than coaching year 6 kids, mate. You just got to find their niche, find what gets them excited and pumped up, and that's what you focus on. So Ian is that. He's just got to he's just got to be confident.
Okay, it was the Doog father. There we go.
Oh, right.
Ian the Doog father, Dag.
Father.
I had. What did I have? I suggested. Oh no, I misspelt it there.
Prepare the body bag, Dag.
How good? Tell me that's not gold.
I like Doogs, man. I like Doogs.
Jesus.
I think people overthink their nickname too much.
Yeah.
Again, exactly what I was saying before about stepping outside your comfort zone. The same thing about me rocking up to the matchups in a nerd outfit. Just fucking do it.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever comes into your mind, do it and own it. So just own it. Go with Doogs and fucking own it. That's my advice.
I think they're all good nicknames.
Yeah. So do I. Yeah.
I do make fun of people's nicknames, but that's...
Oh, yeah. There's been some shit ones. But again, in fact, I've got to take that back, because the reality is that it might mean something to them.
Yeah.
And so if it doesn't sound good to someone else, fuck that someone else. If it means something to the person fighting, then it's the best nickname ever. So, I think people are way too opinionated.
I think I'll just give people shit
to
get a reaction.
See, that's the difference. You're allowed to give people shit. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I'm just giving shit. And also, people, if I do give you shit, just remember how many times I've been in the ring. 0.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. Okay, Michael Vermey against Richard Taylor, 2-ton Taylor.
Yeah, look, again, I've known Mikey now for a long time. Boxed with him down at Good Vibes.
He's another late entry, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a callback. So that'll be a really good fight. They're both big hitters, But Michael's, his punches are fucking strong, really strong. He knows how to snap them. So...
That'll be something else.
Look out.
That's fight 6, I believe.
Yeah.
Jesus. I was going to say, Rory Kenner's so 5 and 6. You've got Rory against Stewart and Michael against Richard.
Yep.
Jesus. And then it's you.
Then it's you. Then me. Yeah, you Vinny.
What about the main event?
Oh, look, main event. Holy shit. Jesus.
Madness. I'm not going to put it up here.
Fuck. I don't even...
I can tell you... I can tell you, but I'm not going to put the photo up, so don't actually mention this.
Right.
This is what they're getting.
Yes.
So yeah,
lovely.
So that's going to be here very soon.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway,
good.
We won't be I can share it with you, but that's where we're at.
Look. To be honest, that's I mean, again, I've had the privilege of putting a belt around both those boys. They've both fought for the Cable Wise belt.
Oh yeah, main event.
Yeah. So I've been in the ring with both of them, and I've put a belt around both of them. I'm in the background of Ronnie's proposal photo. So, basically makes us family. But it is going to be insane. Like, such good fun. Like, fuck, Wiramu's just, Jesus Christ, man. You seen him punch?
He's the loosest, nice guy.
Yeah.
Nice. Every time I've dealt with him and spoken to him, he's very quiet, very humble.
Yeah.
But the loosest cannon I've ever met.
But have you seen Ronnie? Ronnie punches like he's thinking about fucking walking out of the shops. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like, when they say loosen up and punch and let your body do it, he masters that. His punches are just like the sound of his punches like someone hitting a fucking barrel with a piece of wood. What he did at
the last PCR impressed me. Because I just like what he did at the last PCR impressed me against Breezy. I didn't know how he was going to handle it. Yeah. I didn't know whether he was going to be able to stay out of the way, and he did, and landed some absolute bombs.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's going to be brilliant. I can't wait.
What a way to finish a night.
Yeah,
absolute madness. That's it. So 14-0 pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, so unfortunately, look, Glenn can have next year maybe.
Look what photo just popped up, that one here. Are we actually going to get onto your stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, well, considering we've been going over an hour now, but there's no time limit on today.
Nah.
Let me just step back a bit with my cough.
So I was sponsored by Demizen.
In about, I think it was May this year, I was looking through the list of applicants, the number of applicants that put their hand up for this this October 7 event. And I was looking through a few names that I've seen before. Justin Abernathy, he was one. I know he applied. Barry Cox, I've seen his name before. And I was going through this list and I thought, this is good. And I come down to this name, Trent Petersen. And I saw it and I went, oh, no, it couldn't be. It couldn't be. Firstly, you did a wonderful job as guest commentator at the last event as well when you came in and just gave me shit about reading off the screen. This is bullet points. Yeah. And I saw your name and straight away I was on the phone to Glenn and I said, Glenn, can you just confirm this is true? And he said, yes. And I just thought, this is madness. This is absolute mad. Only because, not because you can or can't box, not any of that kind of stuff, but just someone such a large personality actually, who jokes, has a great time, but getting in the ring, I'll admit it, I was probably more excited about that than anyone. And I've had mates fight in this, but I just thought, I have got to see how this plays out.
Yeah,
and it's been a joy so far. So
for me, like as I said, like I'll always be the larrikin in the group. I'll always be the loud one. Yeah. It's probably like when I got laryngitis. I'm pretty sure I heard several people around the gym. They were quite sad because I'd lost my voice. So I'm pretty sure. I think that's what I heard anyway. I'm not sure, but anyway. But I thought, being involved in something like PCR. I know what it's like on outside the ropes.
Yep.
I know all that. I do all that. Glenn and Nige have always encouraged me to come down to the gym and meet the people and do all that sort of stuff. And I've just never done that. I've just haven't had the time. I haven't, anything like that. Well, I didn't think I had the time. That's probably what it was. And I've come down for match-ups and then I've been there, weigh-ins and all that sort of stuff. But I sort of come in and then leave, come in and leave. Yeah. And I thought, well, this time here, what I really wanted to do is I wanted to understand it. And I thought, well, the best way to understand it is to join. Because if I join, I have to go down to all the trainings. I have to go down to all this. So I thought, well, I'll just do it. And as I said, it's the best decision I've ever made because it'll completely change the way that I think about future PCRs.
You are in this group, not just for this event, but to get in there and do, I guess, an amateur fight. You are in this group of not even 1% of people now. And I think you realise it. I hope everyone else realises the achievement it is just to get in there.
That's what I mean. Just to walk in the ring is a huge achievement. You know, it's a goal that everyone should set.
And how many people want to do it and can't, whether it's through fear or through physical injury, or there's a lot of things.
Well, so I've spent a long time. So ever since I've started sponsoring it, everyone's been saying to me, "Why don't you do it?"
Yeah.
And I've always joked around and said, "Nah, I'm not a fighter. You know, I'm a promoter, not a fighter." Haha. You know. And Glenn and Nigel have always said, "Do it." And I'm like, "Nah, I'll never do it. I'll never do it. I'll never do it." And I always said that. The reasons why I'd say no, definitely fear, definitely, because I'm not a fighter. You know, so you watch people box and you watch them get hit and you're like, "Oof, Jesus," you know, that's different. And then I started, you know, Gleno told me to come down to Anarchy, sign up to Anarchy. So I did that, started boxing there, and just realised that just how fit you need to be to box, you know. And you can do it for 10 years and still, when you're hitting the pads or the bag, you still feel like you're at day one with fitness. But the difference is you're hitting it harder, you're hitting it faster, you know, you're moving more, your stance is better, your blocks, your ducks and all that, everything is better. So I think it's one of those sports that no matter how long you do it, you could just keep getting fitter and fitter and fitter and fitter and fitter and fitter and fitter. And then you feel like you're at your peak fitness and they say, "Get in the ring." And you get in the ring and you're like, "I am so fucking unfit. It is not funny," right?
It's a lot different hitting a bag.
Yeah.
Because bags don't hit your bag.
Yeah. And then so the contrast between the two is really good. But again, if anyone's listening to this that's ever thought about doing it but is worried about doing it because of fear, trust me that Glenn and Nige, they teach you how to take a punch. And when you've got headgear on and you've got your gloves up in front of your face and they're hitting you, there's nothing bad that can happen. You know, nothing bad. And you're going to get hit. That's probably the one thing that I had to get taught. You know, because when you get in the ring, I just assumed that if I was good enough, I could punch the other person 100 times and they'd get me no times. And Nigel's like, that is never going to happen, like ever. I don't think there's ever been a fight where someone hasn't got hit. You know what I mean? Like, and he said, "You've got to learn how to take the hit."
How did you find that first one?
Yeah, man, terrifying. You know, like I really did, because like when you first get hit, my initial response or act was to sort of turn and defend myself by putting my back towards like that. And Nige just was swinging them around and kept clocking me in the face, just bang, bang. Probably only at about 20%, you know, and just kept saying to me, "Turn back around, turn back around, turn back around." And he wouldn't stop until I turned back around and put my hands up. You know, then he'd move back out and box again. Doesn't take long to learn, you know. And then once he does it again and again and again, and I remember him saying to me at the start, he goes, "You'll actually start enjoying it." And I went, "Fuck, this is crazy." Like, who the hell would enjoy it? Now I love it. Like, I actually enjoy going to training and sparring and getting hit. You know, especially when someone like Barry like slips one up and jabs you in the jaw and really cracks you in the jaw. Not only because I'm just proud of him, you know what I mean? I'm proud of who you're fighting, that they're actually doing it, that they're fighting you like that. Like, because it's just as much of a process for them as it is for me. So whatever I'm going through, they're going through as well. You know, so when I hit them and I make contact with them, the confidence that I feel when I get that, you know, when they hit me, they get that same confidence. And I want them to experience that. I want everyone to experience that. So Gleno has always said that he thinks that every single person in the world should get in the ring at least once.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree with him.
I think you're right. And did the punch hurt as much as you think, or was it more a shock?
Shock. It's just shock to the neck. A bit of a whiplash sort of thing. That's it. It doesn't hurt, man. I mean, there's 16-ounce gloves. You know, I could imagine if it was bare knuckles, it'd be a different story.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I've been punched on the footy field, headbutted on the footy field. You know, I've had my sternum broken on the footy field, all that sort of stuff. I presume that hurt at the time, but the adrenaline that you've got while it's happening, it just takes it away. And it's the same as in the ring. So if you're just sort of standing there sparring and someone hits you, that's one thing. But when you're in the ring, the adrenaline's pumping through you. If someone hits you, you don't even feel it. You know they've been hit because your head goes back or something like that, or you might go, oh, or if it's Ryan Darcy and he knocks you out, you fucking certainly feel that. But like anything, and as Ryan said to me, if I had my hand up, that wouldn't have happened. It was just I had my hand there. So hands up, that's it.
How do you think you'll feel? I mean, now you probably won't have an issue with it, but being the first to strike, being the first to hit, because from what I saw from you in the this is boxing coach Brad here, you know, with my years of experience, I was under the impression you were a touch hesitant to throw that first punch, but once you got hit, there were 10 coming back. How have you? Did you feel that as well?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
How have you got around that?
So look, I don't want to give away too much.
But
Nige and I, we've been working on a lot of stuff.
Please don't take any boxing advice from me as well.
No. But it is about that. It's about owning the ring. Now, whether there's different ways of boxing, you can come out and you can punch first. No worries, get it out of the way. Or you can bait them in, tire them out, throw punches. It's all strategy.
It is.
And the benefit is that in the first 4 weeks we were all together. So you saw how everyone trained. But the last 4 weeks, you're not watching anything. So no one knows who's doing what, right?
No.
And I've even gone down to like, I'm not signing the book anymore because I don't want anyone to know how often I'm going. So
the
my
games
strategy
have started.
Yeah. So, but I can say this. I can guarantee that I'm training more.
I have no doubt that you are one of the most committed people in this crew. Not saying that there aren't people as committed as you, but I think you're in it mentally.
Yeah, I am. Big time.
Yeah. There are a couple of people. Justin Abernathy's another one.
He is, he's putting in a lot.
Really
Billy's training with his brother a lot, which is, phenomenal.
It was madness.
And it's time in that ring. So in that rope is time in that rope where you can't get away, And and I think the reality is that, I've got your box down at counterbalance and the ring's big.
Yep.
And the other day they put these kettlebells out to show us how big the ring actually is.
Big ring on the night.
What the fuck? That's huge, man. So I measured that out. It's actually the same size as our carport's a little bit bigger. But I was talking to Aaron Tracy, lives down the road from me, and he's like, mate, I'm going to come down to your house.
Best looking fighter to ever. You should see what he wears on the night. Yeah. He's the best dressed man.
He goes, I'm coming down to your house, and he goes, and we're going to spar in your carport out the front because it's the same size as the ring.
Oh, yeah.
I went, fuck, great, let's do it. That's probably what I love as well about this whole process. I love all the ex-fighters.
How many of them come down?
Yeah.
Love it.
And what I love as well is how many reach out, especially to me, probably because being the sponsor, I've known them all. I've talked to them all. But I've had so many people reach out to me, like on Instagram and, messages just saying, mate, any training you need, any sparring you need, I'm here. And I'm trying to take everyone up on it because I think if you can fight 50 different people in a ring, you're going to learn a lot more than fighting one.
Oh, yeah. The contribution from former fighters, both with boxing and plus the mental game, is worth so much, isn't it?
And that's probably the other reason why I'm not interested in trash talk sort of thing as well. Like, I just think it takes too much energy.
Way too much.
I just think you just stay silent, just focus, just get back and show it on the night. Which is weird for me because people expect me. I'll come into a room and I'm loud and all that sort of stuff, and I'll take the piss out of people. And you've seen me when Nige and Glenn are trying to be serious as well.
Oh yeah, you're a menace.
I just love a little bit of humour. I just think humour. If you can give someone a laugh, if you can give anyone just a laugh, just to brighten that day up,
just to cut that little bit of tension. Yeah, that's all you need.
And especially in that situation, because usually when we're sitting there talking to Glenn and Nige, you can see some people, they're shitting themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that if you can just lighten that a little bit.
Lighten the mood.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Man, I got no dramas with humour. Some people don't appreciate mine. Trust me. Come to work with me for a day or two. You'll see some people that do not find me funny whatsoever. Mate, should we get into you?
Yeah.
We've gone in reverse,
Yeah,
but
sorry,
let's get into you because there is some things I've found out about you. You've got an outstanding warrant. No.
Well, that is actually probably true.
If Trent is your real name. Firstly, let's talk about you first. We're stepping back.
Yep.
Grew up in Shepparton, Victoria.
Yeah.
I did have a look at Shepparton. The only photo I could find on Shepparton, or the first photo I came
Shep
up.
Hotel being demoed. Yeah.
The Shepparton Hotel.
Yeah. Yeah.
The focal point. But it was just, this seemed to be making news above everything else.
Yeah, look, Shepparton was a great place to grow up in. It really was.
What's population like there?
26,000, Greater Shepparton.
That's
Greater Shepparton.
Reminds me of the Guildford Hotel a bit back in the day. Remember that thing called fire?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So tell me about Shepparton.
Great place to grow up in. It's gone downhill quite a bit of late. Oh, when I say of late, over the last 20 years. It's when Billy was talking about Dagenham. Yeah, well, Shepparton's very much like that. So they do say that Antarctica holds 90% of the world's ice and Shepparton holds the other 10.
That is a problem in so many.
Yeah.
How heartbreaking.
Yeah.
How heartbreaking would it be? I'm talking about the people, say, 60 plus who grew up in these towns and have seen this come in.
Yeah.
Look at some of our southwest, mate.
Yeah. So it's but look, great place to grow up. I enjoyed it. It was big, you know. You had North Shep, South Shep, and then places like Olympic Avenue. Olympic Avenue was like where Homes West housing was. And I lived in Will Street, and so I had to ride my bike from my house through Olympic Avenue to get to school.
Okay.
Right. And so you just, mate, that was training, full-on training. Like, fuck me.
Put the head down?
Yeah. So, well, you'd pedal just nice and casual, just give yourself a bit of a warm-up, roll the legs over, roll the legs over down onto Batman Ave, up into Batman Avenue. And as soon as you'd hit, I think it was Oakley Crescent, I think it might have been. Anyway, whatever it was. You'd hit that, and right there, you'd go, right, fucking game on. It was like a BMX sprint. Yeah, fucking into it. And you'd have at least one or two people going, hey, you fucking dog, give us your bike. Yeah. And, I got chased by a bloke with a tomahawk once through Olympic Avenue.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think it's all a bit of show. I don't think he would have actually done anything. But funny enough, I was actually a really small kid. So I was the shortest and skinniest kid out of all my friend group. So I actually should have sent you some photos, mate. You'd piss yourself laughing at me. Like blonde hair, blue-eyed, skinny.
When did you hit the growth spurt? Because how tall are you now?
6'3".
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
So I hit my growth spurt probably around about 20. Probably. I grew up. I shot up in height at around about 17. But then, mate, I lived in so I moved from Shepparton to Melbourne. My parents actually moved from Shepparton to Perth, like to go as far away from I wanted to finish year 12.
Yeah,
and my sister moved over to Perth with her husband at that stage, who played footy for Perth Footy Club.
Okay,
and so they moved over, and then my sister got pregnant with her first son, my nephew Declan, and he'll be at the fight. So actually, shit, no, he won't. Scrap that bit out. Fuck. If someone pulls out, he's in. Yeah, that's a sore point, that one. Anyway, so mum and dad moved over to WA to be with my sister, and obviously their first grandchild. And then my other sister still lives in Melbourne. She's actually over. She flew in yesterday, so for a week. But
she coming back for the fight?
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
No. But so then I stayed in Shepparton, lived with my best mate Jimmy McCarroll, and then moved from Shepparton to Melbourne with Jim. We lived in Melbourne all the way through Melbourne and what have you. And we used to go back to Shep every now and then. But yeah, so I sort of hit a growth spurt, around 17, but didn't really bulk out until I actually moved back over to WA and, basically just got my shit together.
Okay.
So, It's a bit hard to put on weight when all you're doing is smoking ciggies and drinking piss. So
It's a breakfast of champions, isn't it?
it is, yeah.
Timmy D'Souza does.
Yeah. Look at him. What a physique that man has.
I still find that funny. Just thinking about him just punching those beers the whole way right to the end.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And just you're a fucking pussy, Macca. Fucking pussy. Like, legend.
He doesn't look the type.
No. But mate, he does. Like, I took 2 months off the piss last year, in September and October. Yeah, mainly because I punished myself in Darwin at the start of September last year, and got really crook on oysters, and mate, I've never copped so much shit off Tim ever in my life. Fuck. Every single day he'd ring up and go, mate, do you want to have a drink? And I'd be like, no, be like, fucking loser. Fucking loser. Fuck you, Tim. And,
he's just, you would never know.
No, but that's our relationship. Yeah. But it's funny, like, as I was saying, so just digressing again because it's what I do.
Mate, I'm the king of it. Go ahead.
It's interesting. So another one of my best mates, Dave Bastion, he runs a company called Mental Health ED. And funny thing he said to me, he said that, do you know that alcohol is the hardest drug to give up because it's the one that you get the least support from your peers? So say if you want to give up booze, say if you want to quit drinking, right, you'd have friends going, why? Like, what's the purpose? Can't you just have one? Can't you just, like, if you go out and have a steak, surely you want a red wine with a steak, don't you? But if you had a heroin addiction and you wanted to boot that, everyone would be supporting you.
Yeah,
if you're on the ciggies and you want to quit ciggies, everyone would be supporting you, right? Yeah. So no one goes, and just have one ciggy. Go on. Surely when you wake up, you want to have one ciggy. You know, that's the thing. Like, it's a difference with booze.
You're right.
So when last year...
People encourage it, don't
So when last year I tried to give it up for a little while, probably went about it the wrong way because I got a little bit of hierarchy on myself. Like, fuck it, I'm not drinking. I don't know if I'll ever drink again, rah, rah. And people that were drinking heaps, I was like, oh, you're drinking a bit much, and rah, rah. So, but I was getting a heap of flack from a lot of people, like, why are you taking the piss? Why are you giving up piss? But it's funny because this time, as soon as you say you've got something that you want, like say, oh, how come you're not drinking? You go, I'm training for a fight. They're like, oh, good on you. Good on you.
Well,
that's
nice.
good. Mate. When's the fight? October 7th. Oh, well, you'll be back on then, yeah, won't you? You know what I mean? Like, so if you want to give up booze, you've just got to train for something. Like, so as soon as, if anyone wanted to give up piss, as soon as this fight's over, just train for another one.
Oh, there's always a half marathon on somewhere, isn't there?
Or I'm training for another fight in 8 weeks. Yeah.
I'm the backup fighter for Ngannou against Tyson Fury.
I'll just give up the piss just in case they call me back for the next one.
You could. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good way to be
just
off
waiting in lieu.
I've been off it for years.
Have
you? Yeah. I just never have been a drinker. Yeah. Like, I'll probably have, I don't know, a fortnight, just like one drink, and that's about it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think I'm allergic to it. No joke. I'll have one. Just
if I have 50 of them, I'm allergic to them.
No, I'm talking about one.
Yeah.
I think there's something wrong with me.
No. So I'm very good at it. Very good at drinking.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's your specialty?
Yeah. Big time.
I've just found a link.
Yep.
This could be it.
There.
Here it is.
The Anarchy Training Centre, training for the Gobsmack Perth Corporate Rumble.
He didn't answer anything.
So to give you another little background on that one there, so it was always going to be a piss take, and I've done a few more since then, and they get better and better as you know, more comfortable. This is the first one we've done, as you said. It looks like we're sitting around a fucking kids' table, but I was writing questions down that I was going to ask, right? So I was writing them actually down, and I said to both the boys, "Would you like to see the list of questions that I have, so you can prepare yourself for them?" Tim said no. Macca said yes. So I said, all right, are you sure, Tim, you'd rather just wing it? And he goes, yeah, I'm fine, I'll just wing it. So I gave him to Macca, and Macca just said, look, I'm just going to come back with the same answer for every single question. I went, all right, you do you, mate, you do you. And then it was funny because after we did it, Timmy D'Souza, he comes, so we finished the interview and we get up there and he comes up to me and he goes, Jesus, mate, he goes, a bit blindsided with those questions, wasn't I? I asked you twice if you wanted to see him and you said no. So Not my fault, mate.
Timmy D'Souza.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, look at us. Oh, mate, I'm gonna step back. I found out something about you that I was not aware of.
Yep.
Please tell me, because I pronounced this wrong the other day.
Yep.
How do you pronounce the name of your band?
Ravia.
Ravia.
Yeah.
I'm just going on to Spotify.
Yep.
I did go through some of this. You're talking your first album here.
Yep.
That's your album there. That's called Sabrosa. Is that right?
Yep.
Sabrosa, released in 2009.
Yep.
I was listening to that. The only reason I asked this is because I like this song. I'm going to play a bit of Animal here. Hopefully it's not a copyright.
It's our song. So this is from 2008. I think we recorded that.
I had no idea that you did any of this kind of stuff.
So there's some newer stuff actually on Facebook.
I did just see
the Ravia page on Facebook. We've got some newer stuff up there. So like Deepwater Circuit is one of my favourites. Look, this year, so we've started this band. It was actually an interesting way. So bit of a backtrack onto me. So I've been a musician my whole life. Yep. I've played guitar since I was 5. Mandolin, ukulele, guitar, bass, drums, you name it. Piano. I've always been in a very musical mind. And so I've been in lots and lots and lots of bands. I was actually in a Pearl Jam cover band called Oyster Fruit. Yeah, funny story, yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I've sung and played guitar, the whole time. So, and he'd heard your interview with Justin, and I've got the same musical taste, like from Soundgarden to Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, you name it, all that stuff.
The glory years of music.
Yeah. Like that I remember when those albums came out, in the 41 days.
Remember that?
I remember it. Like,
so did I.
Yeah, I remember because
madness.
I remember it because we had to go to Lyric Music in Shepparton and fucking buy the phone CDs.
Lyric Music.
Now I used to also, so I had this one rule that once a month I would go to a Lyric Music in Shepparton, and I would buy a CD without listening to it.
Big call. Big money back in the day.
Yeah, big money. Yeah. So I'd save up.
How old are you now?
I'm 44.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I've been one of these people I've had a job since I was 14.
Okay.
And I've never not had a job.
Yep.
And so like while my friends back in Shepparton were putting their money away and they were travelling to, surf trips and doing this and this and going away on holidays and all that sort of stuff and saving up to go on Kentucky tours and all that sort of stuff. I didn't do any of that. All of my money's gone into music. So I bought amps and I bought recording equipment and PAs and guitars and a bit of a collection of antique guitars. So 1979 Les Paul, 1958 Strat. I've got a Gretsch and Shuriken, fucking Taylor, Cole Clark. I've got like guitars all over the place.
I saw a Rickenbacker with a broken neck on it in a skip bin.
Bullshit.
No joke.
Oh,
no joke.
You didn't climb in and get it.
I was tempted, but I have my kids.
I would have told them to sit on the fucking curb.
I was taking my kids to school. It was literally just off Beaufort Street up here.
Yeah.
And I saw it. As soon as I saw the body, I went, oh, Jesus. And the neck was hanging over.
Mate, I would have taken that straight to the Rock Inn down the road.
Try it, mate.
Best guys down there, the Rock Inn.
They are quality
That's
there,
where I
aren't
buy
they?
my guitars from,
Just up there, Beaufort Street, corner of 2nd Ave, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Rock Inn.
Yeah, great guys. So anyway, I've done that. I've been music, my whole life, in and out of bands. So actually, when I was 14, I started playing in a band. We did tours like through Melbourne and Wangaratta and all the country pubs and all that sort of stuff. And I was that young that I wasn't allowed in the pubs, so they had to sneak me in at the back. And I'd get up, play guitar and sing with the band. And then as soon as we finished, I'd have to leave again.
Jeez.
And I've done that. Short claim to fame was back in year 11. My teacher, Mr. Hooper, was Ella and Jesse Hooper's dad from Killing Heidi.
Okay, yep.
So when they wrote Weir for the pushover, for Triple J Unearthed, and they won that, and they went to the pushover festival, they had no equipment, so they borrowed all my equipment, and I went with them up there. So I sat in a hotel room playing guitar with them, and they asked me if I wanted to play acoustic guitar with them. I said, yeah, absolutely. And then I went home and I said to my dad, I'm going to join Killing Heidi. Dad's like, no, you're not. And he stopped me.
So you were going to join the band?
Yeah. But then he stopped me. He said, no, you're not allowed to.
What's that?
My dad's big on setting your foundations.
Okay.
Which I'm bloody glad he did. I respect my dad. I love my dad. He's back then I hated him for it. I was like, fuck you. What do you know? I can't believe you've done this to me. Can't believe you've done this to me. Now I look back on it where I am now, and I think to myself, it's the best thing ever. So
hard to see at the time. Though.
Yeah, big time. But my dad's big on your foundations first. Set your roots deep.
Yeah,
lock them in. Have that foundation. So go to get your year 12. You don't have to go to university, but if you want to trade, get your trade. Finish your trade. Get your certificate. Don't ever let that license lapse. Stay there. Get that. Then if you want to do something else down the side, do it. But you've always got something you can fall back on. So and that's something now that I really push through to my kids as well. So you learn a lot from your parents. But yeah, so then music wise and played in bands. I've always just been in bands. Always, I've always had something to do with music.
Listening to your music, do you feel this is the impression I got? Is you were born about 15 years too late.
Yeah.
Your music, I took it, and there's going to be one name in here that you're not going to be happy with. I took it as in like a mix of, say, Chris Cornell, a little bit of Nickelback, a little bit of Alice. I know, I'm just saying. Not Nickelback. A little bit of Alice in Chains in there.
Yeah.
And then it came down to this band, this Australian band. Do you remember the band Sneak?
Yeah.
Sneak. Do you remember their song? I've even got a link into it here. When I heard this... Jesus, I've got to get YouTube Premium, I swear. These guys here, they're an Australian band. This is what I thought you guys were very similar to. Remember these guys?
Yeah.
These guys were the goods.
Yeah.
This is what I thought your music was. And this came out more than 9 years ago. But this was around your time as well. Do you feel that if... There's always, ifs. But if it was 10 years earlier, like instead of this being, because you released your first album in 2009, if this was
99 or even 2000,
even maybe
2000 would have been too late because you had 10 and all that come out. So I think it would have been
maybe 15.
Yeah. I'm
talking about maybe.
But then
96, 97?
So I had a lot of influence back in those days. So back when I was 14, I was 16, sort of thing. A lot of influence from Alice in Chains.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of influence. Like loved them. And I got told a lot back then that I sounded like a young Lane Staley. And, but it was sort of... It's hard to sort of say because a lot of my inspiration comes from Eddie Vedder. His writing style, how they sort of put songs together, how they compile songs.
You read any of the books about them?
Hey,
you read any of the books about them?
All of them. I read all.
You read None Too Fragile?
No.
Oh, mate, it was glorious. I found it in a second-hand bookstore in the.
Yeah, I'm a huge autobiography fan. Yeah. Like I am. I love them all. Like I can sit here for days and list them all. Some I hate, like fucking Enter Night from Metallica. Like Jesus Christ, like Lars, get over yourself. The first 4 fucking chapters about you and your tennis career. Like, come on, man. Like, for fuck's sake, for a band that's so amazing like Metallica, they have the biggest dickhead drummer that I just can't stand him.
Really?
Oh, I can't stand him. Like, he makes the band, don't get me wrong, like he does, but I do also believe that without his arrogance, they would never be where they are today. Like, I do believe that he has created that. Because you look at people like James Hetfield, Kirk Hammett, I don't think that they were really driven. They would have been happy just playing pubs and clubs for the rest of their life.
But he wanted the glory.
Yeah.
It's just getting that perfect mix of people where it doesn't implode as well. It must be, and then when you've got possibly alcohol, drugs, or money, everything.
Yeah.
How do bands stay together for so long?
I know, and it's just amazing, and that's what I love. And look, heroin, mate, worst drug in the world. Like it's robbed us of so many artists, but it's probably also helped create the best music that we've ever listened to. So,
I was just thinking about this the other day, and it's terrible to think how many artists, whilst under the influence or during, say, their drug and alcohol period, just wrote and produced some hits. Elton John, nothing but hits back in the day. Got clean.
Yeah.
I don't know about it now.
I'm the same. Yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Remember their old stuff?
Yeah.
When Anthony Kiedis was on like a 6-day cocaine.
Yeah.
His autobiography, Scar Tissue.
Yeah. Great book.
That starts out rough.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. So that must be hard.
But even Tool, like you look at bands like Tool, right? So they're still together, and there's no signs of them ever splitting up. Those guys, like you got Maynard, that's a little bit sort of like off to the side, doesn't like the spotlight and what have you. But they admit, they claim that they use like your opiates and stuff like that, or to write the music or to get themselves into a headspace where they can actually write the foundations of the music and then get off it and actually write the song off it.
If you can,
do it. Yeah, I'm all for it. It's like that comedian, Bill Hicks.
Yeah,
when he said, for all you people out there that hate drugs and war on drugs and all that sort of stuff, he said, go home, get all your favourite albums and burn them. He's like, because 90% of those albums were written on drugs. Yeah.
With your band, when the album came out, I was looking at sort of the kind of music. When I said that it was a little bit too early, not say too early, it was too late. You released it in 2009, and I was just having a look at what kind of music was popular at the time. Have you seen the ARIA Top 100?
No.
Mate, the more I look at this, the sadder this got for me. Number one song, I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas. David Guetta, Taylor Swift, Black Eyed Peas, Flo Rida, Guy Sebastian.
Oh, Jesus
I know.
Christ.
Look at this. Kesha, TikTok, Poker Face by Lady Gaga.
What number's Ravia? Just in there.
Should be number one in there. But all I'm saying is that this is the kind of music that was popular at the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you listen to Triple J?
No.
No? Ever? Have you ever listened to it? Like
maybe a bit in the 90s.
Back in the day?
Yeah.
Like when you had Cake and all those boys on there and
going the distance.
And even then, like Rage Against the Machine, it was just brilliant. It was brilliant fucking music, like one after the other. And then slowly you can pick the years that it changed. Then it got into a bit of Aussie hip hop and all that sort of stuff. And now it's just shit.
What's happened to it?
No, it's just shit. But you're right. It's like around that late 90s. The late 90s was just epic. All of that music, it was just so good.
How many we don't have the great Australian bands anymore. We've got like pop stars now. We had this wave of just absolute gold. I'm talking about like Super Jesus.
Yeah.
Coming to the end of like the Baby Animals.
Yeah.
Had all these new guys coming through like Grinspoon and Jebediah.
Yeah.
And we had it, and then we've lost it.
Where'd they go? I mean, Grinspoon's coming back, so they're at the Astor Theatre soon, November.
It's down the road here.
Yeah. So it's sold out. So this is the thing. So I still love Grinspoon. I love all those bands, right? And I was amazed that when they released their tour and their show at the Astor, it's sold out in like 20 minutes. Which is, not hard to sell at the Astor, let's be honest, with something like Grinspoon. But it's still good that happens, that these guys can sell out. I went to see him up at Red Hill Auditorium.
Oh, yeah.
As part of the Spring Loaded Festival. Yeah. That was amazing. Frenzal Rom were up there as well. Remember them?
The control. Frenzal Rom, I'm sure this happened, is... Oh, geez,
all you need is a punch in that face.
You know when She Had changed their name to Pacifier?
Yeah. Great band.
I'm sure Frenzal Rom changed their name to She Had. For a short period of time. I'm sure there was a bit where they took it, just taking the piss, and then obviously just went back.
Yeah, right. Maybe.
That's She Had changed their name because it was too close to Jihad.
They've changed back now, obviously. So.
It's a shame that that time is gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And it's, look, hopefully...
Surely it'll swing back. Surely.
Hopefully. Yeah. I mean, look, the music these days just makes me sick. Just, honestly, I hate it. I can't stand it. Current music, just... I don't know. But, there's just so much. It's so easy to record.
It is. There's so much music. I think it's because we've got access to so much music now that we have to like a song first time we hear it. The hook has got to be in there first time.
Yeah.
Unless, if it's not, we just chuck it away.
Yeah.
But if you like something that quick, it gets old that quick as well.
But it's like what I was saying before about, like, so once a month I'd go and buy a CD.
And you would have listened to every song on that CD in order.
Well, you had to, because you'd paid good hard money for it.
Oh, yeah.
And so I remember one of the best CDs I ever bought, which it was At the Gates, Slaughter of the Soul. Right,
I have no idea.
I know, but I literally just went in there and I bought it because the cover was orange.
Okay.
And I thought, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that was a rule. We weren't allowed to listen to a single song. And of course, back in those days, we didn't have phones. So now, if someone says, "Oh, geez, that looks all right," I might have a listen to it. They Google it, and what comes up first? A clip, or a song, or a Spotify link, or something. Back in those days, you're like, I like the look of that. I want to buy that. And you had to carry it home in the paper bag and get home and put in your CD player and you press play.
Press play.
And if the first song was shit, you'd go,
oh, what have I done?
And you'd listen to the second song, the third song, the fourth, and then you'd force yourself to listen to the first one again and go
force yourself to like it.
And again and again. Yeah, and you'd end up liking it, And then that would take you on to other ones. I think now as well, Spotify's taken a bit of the fun out of that because back in those days, there wasn't sounds like this. Whereas now, if you look at a band on Spotify, you've got other artists that sound like this. So you can just pick and choose and do everything. But I love those days back in the days where you didn't know what it was going to be like. Or if you're at a friend's house and they played something, you'd be like, what is
this?
That? And they'd be like, oh, it's so-and-so. And you go, oh, how am I going to get a copy of that? Oh, I know. I'll have to go and buy it.
What about when you heard a song and then you had to remember some of the lyrics or something so you could go into your music store and ask them? You didn't have Shazam. Yeah. You had no idea what song was.
So I was in a band once called Soul Bleeder, right? So really heavy band, Soul Bleeder. Simon Zito was the drummer. Still to this day, the best drummer I've ever heard live. So quick, so amazing, really good. And we were in Battle of the Bands and we came runner-up to a Nirvana cover band that played the same fucking song twice, right? So we were gutted, but we were heavy, like real heavy, like Fear Factory heavy.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And so what we did is we wrote a couple of originals we played in there. Form 315, we wrote about the Martin Bryant, the massacre.
Geez. Yeah.
So, and we played them. We also did like Davidian from Machine Head. And we did, what did we do from... Oh, we played a Fear Factory song as well. I can't remember the song. But... Anyway, we left there. We came second. Cool, whatever. And then I got contacted. And again, back in those days, how you got contacted was someone had to look you up somehow through the channels, and then someone had to call your home phone and ask your parents if you were there. So anyway, I got on this phone. And there's this guy, this weird guy, and he's like, "Hey mate, how are you?" "Yeah, good." And he goes, "Mate, I heard you at Battle of the Bands, your band." And he goes, "I wouldn't mind getting a copy of your song." That Form 315, I'd like to play it on our radio station. And I said, oh, okay, all right, no worries. Again, I'm so young, I didn't even think anything of it. And I said, oh, okay, well, how do I get you a copy of this tape? And he gave me a postal address to send it to. And I said, oh, okay, great. And so I literally got a tape with the song on it and threw it in a fucking envelope, wrote the name on it and sent it. Didn't put a bio in it, didn't put anything else in it, just the tape. Anyway, we got played. And it was Triple J's 3 Hours of Power, right? And this is back in fucking 95.
Oh, that's peak Triple J. Yeah.
And I was sitting there and I was listening to it, and we got played in between Machine Head's Davidian and Sepultura, right? So our song was in the middle of that, and so and he actually came back on, and he was like, "This is a local Shepparton band." And he goes, amazing band, amazing song. It's just a shame that when he sent me the demo, he didn't send anything with it, so we don't even know who they are. And I sat there listening to that going, oh, you dickhead. Like, that was my first introduction to, that style of music. And again, it was just, I look back at that now and I think to myself that if I had have pursued that, it could be completely different now. You know, it could be anywhere else, you know, doing anything. So the old sliding doors moment. You know?
Why do you think that so many good bands and musicians hit early 30s and call it a day?
Life, you know, families.
How much music has there been from extremely talented people that has never been written due to them doing that?
Yeah, definitely. The other thing as well is, you know, maybe I think you'll see less of that these days, like with the 30-year-olds not producing music because people are doing it at home. Whereas back in my day, you wanted to produce music, you had to book out a session at the recording studio. Like, for, say, that album there. So that album costs us, it would have been about 10 grand.
Which one's Sub Rosa?
Yeah.
It's a lot of money back in the day.
And without getting a cent back for it. So we all chipped in money. There's 5 of us. We all chipped in a couple of grand each. And we made this album. Nowadays, people are making that same album for a couple $100. You know, once they've got their equipment. But if we spend that $10,000 on recording equipment, so I've got it all now at home, so I could produce a similar album for that for nothing. You know, like this, like what you've got here. You know, it'd be very easy to do, you know. Just a little bit of mixing, mastering, it's fine. And this day, like these days, especially now with AI,
it does it for you,
mate. Fucking bring on Cubase and bring on all that, the mastering stuff. They're introducing
Cubase,
but they're introducing AI now into it all. So with mastering, you can pump your song into it, and AI masters it. So
madness. It's madness, mate.
Yeah.
It is absolute madness. Is what's going on. I don't know. Maybe that's because I think how different would the music we produce now in our 40s compared to in our 20s when we understand it better. It's not, I mean, it is also, it's passion driven, but it's also, it's got life experience driven as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's some good music coming.
Well, have a look at AI again, mate. Go into ChatGPT and you write me a song about, I could say, write me a song about the Corporate Rumble. And it'll write your song, and you can say, could you put the tonation in the form of Powderfinger, say, for instance, and it'll do that. And then you'll say, could you please write me the guitar chords for it, and it'll write you the guitar chords for it. And then you say, could you please write me the melody, show me the melody, and it'll give you the piano keys for the melody of the song and do it. Trust me, anyone can write a fucking song now.
So when copyright's coming into it.
Well, there is no copyrights in that. So it's all...
That's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary where we're going. It's interesting. I hope it all works out for us.
Well, we'll be dead by the time it doesn't, so who cares?
Not a problem. Mate, I got to ask you about your tattoos. Jeez, we're off topic here.
Yep.
Tell me about this because you seem to have you had cover-ups? Have you had...
yeah, so, well, sort of. My right arm here was something that I drew. I did have a small, like a band around there, and I wanted to cover that up instead of lasering it off, so I designed that. I love the red in it. I'm a big red and black fan. And this one here, I had a tattoo there from my shoulder down to about there, so I covered that up. I just wanted it blacked out. Now, when I blacked mine out, so I've had mine now for...
I took that photo.
Yeah. So I've had mine now for, I can't remember, like well before COVID. So we're talking like probably since 2019, I think, that I've had this blacked out.
Yeah.
So back in those days, you didn't see anyone else in Perth with blackouts.
The only person I ever saw blacked out was either an ex-bikie or the guitarist from Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah. And even he only blacked his out down to sleeve. So...
Why'd you black them out? Was there something under there that you didn't want?
No, I just wanted to be different. So, and again, I know it's a big thing, but trust me. So how this came about, so I blacked that. This bit here was a bit calculated up here because I wanted to black it out and then put all the white in it.
So that white's done afterwards?
Yeah, and it's still got to be done. I've got heaps more to do.
Subtle, but I like that.
It's got to go over it again and again and again, about 4 or 5 times. You've got to go over it, but... I've got 2 kids in private school and it's just, mortgage and stuff like that. So I'll wait for them to finish school and then I'll probably continue on and finish it all off. But the blackout from there down, so I had that to there, and I wanted something at the bottom. So it was basically the tattoos finished there, under there, and I went in and I drew that, and I had that bit put on to finish the sleeve off. And he said to me, "What do you want to do there? Do you want to do the same?" And I went, "Nah, black it out." And he said, "Are you sure?" And I went, "Yeah, black it out." So I thought about that on the spot. Just do it. And, yeah, blacked out. And it takes a long time, so everyone sort of says, does it hurt and all that sort of stuff. And anyone that says that tattoos don't hurt, they're being fucking idiots. Like they are. Like the reality is
there's some sensitive areas that you've got tattooed. I'm looking there.
Yeah, but it's like, I'm not one of these heroes. It hurts, but you just get used to it. That's probably it. But with this one here, they have to do it. They do a bit, and then say you do a 3-hour session, they do a bit. You might get that much done or what have you, and then you'll go away and you'll come back like a week later, and that's healing. So then they'll do this bit here, or this bit here, or this bit, or they'll re-go over your elbows or something like that. And then at the very end, you book in like an 8-hour session, and they wash the whole thing, and that is out of control. So they used a needle. It had 54 needles in it. It's called the shovel, and they just basically just wash the whole thing over and over and over, and that's how it blends all in and looks uniform. So.
How long do you reckon before there's a tattoo machine?
There it is.
Put your arm in.
So
done.
So, well, there's two. There is one that's basically like that, which can tattoo, but still in its early stage. There is laser now, so if you black your arm out like that, to get the black out to do the first run of white, there is a laser that does it now.
Okay.
That takes it out. So, yeah, it's only a matter of time. But
I think laser removal's quite popular at the moment. Like tattoo removal, sorry.
Well, I've never had it done, but I've got a mate, Dunks, one of my good mates, Clint Dunkley from Goldie. He's had his whole, so he was tattooed from neck all the way down. He's had the whole lot lasered off, and he's had it all put back on. And then he's just had his back lasered off again to have a new tattoo put all on his back. So he's
just a different tattoo.
Yeah.
It's pricey, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Especially now. Like when I got this done, it was around about $120 an hour. Now it's up to 210.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong industry, mate.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. and they're booked out. So if you Adrian Farley is who has done all my tattoos.
Yeah.
Was Unique Tattooing until they closed down. Now he's got his own studio out in Netherlands. If you tried to get an appointment with him, you wouldn't be able to get one for about 4 months.
Really?
And it's $210 an hour.
Jesus.
So, he's good.
That's it. I mean, if you're good at your job, you can charge whatever you like.
I mean, I'll charge $20 an hour, but it'll be shit.
Oh, no, can you imagine us, George? Get your arm out.
Yeah.
What is your wife and your kids, because they obviously know you, or your kids don't know any different, but, yeah, I don't know.
Look, yeah, they all...
Fine.
Yeah, I think...
They're not what they used to be.
Look, for me, one thing that I'll always try and push to my kids is the way you look shouldn't define who you are. Fair enough, there's limitations. Like, I'm not into facial tattoos or anything like that. I'm not against them. If you want to do it, do it. That's just my preference. I'm not into, like, I've got my ears punched out, obviously, so I didn't stretch them. I punched them out. Things like that. So make decisions, make them sensible, but don't let it define who you are. So if you want to do something, so say if you want to go and you want to get your arms tattooed like this, make sure your foundations are set in life first. So make sure you've got a good education, make sure you've got a good job, you've got a trade set up or something, or background set up that you can fall back onto. And then get them done based on your own persona. So people know me, they know who I am, they know that, I'm covered in tattoos, but I'm not angry, I'm not a fighter, I'm not any of that. Like, I'm a nice guy, like I try and make everything funny. I very rarely, in fact, most of the comments, the positive comments that I get about my tattoos are from the elderly people. which is ironic, because I would have thought that they'd be like, why would you do that? But the amount of old women, no joke, that I get that come up to me on the street and they'll say, sorry, excuse me, is that a tattoo? And I'll say, yeah. And they'll be like, can I touch it? And I'll be like, yeah, absolutely. And they'll be like, oh my God, it just feels like your skin. I'm like, yeah.
It must be so different for them because used to be you're either a sailor or a member of a gang to get a tattoo.
Whereas now, people without tattoos are generally the ones that like, someone says, oh, have you got a tattoo? And you say no. They're like, oh, really?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why is that? I don't have any.
Yeah, why? Man, that's weird.
It hurts too much.
But that's the other thing as well is, again, like, you don't ever take any advice from me because I've never put too much grand thought into any of my tattoos. So everything that I do is generally on a whim.
But that can be a good thing because that means that's what you want.
That's exactly right.
I believe that some people get stuff because their mates are getting it or they reckon it's going to look cool or funny.
Or they're hesitant on getting something because of what other people might say. And that's the wrong way. That's the wrong way to look at it. You shouldn't care what other people think.
No.
Obviously care what your kids think, care what your wife thinks, cares what your parents think, but with respect, Like my parents have obviously known me longer than anyone in the world, and they know who I am. They know what I'm about, and so I do something like this, and they don't bat an eyelid. They were just like, geez, Mum's like, oh, righto.
I think it's because it's it comes down to your intent.
Yeah.
Any decision you make, if your intent is good, then there's no issue with it.
That's right.
And if people still want to judge you, even if your intent is good, then you're right.
Yeah, and look, you'll always get it. Like, you'll always get judgment. Like, I have had people say, like, why would you do that to yourself? The only reason why I don't like that question is probably because I don't know the answer.
But also, who's the only person that's got the right to say what you can and can't do with your body?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's right. So, and it's like anything, It's the one thing that you do to your body that you can't change. So if you dye your hair, you can change it. You cut your hair, you can change it. You do anything, change it. Get a piercing, you can change it.
If you lose your hair?
Well, if you lose your hair, you can't change it. No, but that's not
it's going to grow along and comb it forward,
right? You can do a Barry brush me forward.
I went 3 years without cutting my hair to donate it to kids with cancer.
Yeah,
that's why I had that long hair. Oh, my God. Looked like a clown.
Yeah. But you got red hair too.
I know.
That's a shame too. So not only does the kid have cancer, but he's going to go through life with red hair now.
Imagine that, Ginger. They go, here's your wig. He goes, nah, man, you keep that.
Yeah, you keep that shit, man.
Don't get any of that ginge on me.
I'll catch it.
You caught the ginge.
Hey, how am I going to get to the car in summer now?
Just starts fighting people, just angry all the time.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right, question 1.
We've gone through all this. I was just going to lead in this. Obviously, the family and friends are supportive of the tattoos. Mate, I reckon they look fine. To be honest, first time I met you, it was a bit of a shock because first couple of times you had the long sleeve.
Yeah.
No dramas with them. I don't have any, but the fact that people don't judge me on not having them.
I don't even think about them. So I'll go to meetings in a short sleeve shirt. Like, I don't think about what I'm going to wear based on my tattoos. And I think that's probably helps as well. Like, when you're confident in the way that you look because you don't believe that you look any different to anyone else, it's the same thing as someone who's fit and someone who's fat. I don't want to use the term fat, but who's carrying a bit more weight and what have you. Be confident in yourself. Like, don't worry about it. Like, that's you. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to change you for you, then by all means do it. But if you're happy with the way you are and you're confident with the way you are, then don't let fucking society tell you to be different.
Nah.
Just fucking do it and own it, man. Own it. The world needs jolly fucking people, man. Be jolly.
That's what we need, more confidence. There's not a lot of confidence. There's a lot of fear going around at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's what got me since COVID's gone. Firstly, COVID was a pain in the ass, but the fear in people now
Yeah.
is at a level I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And everyone's terrified to say something wrong.
Yeah.
You say one joke.
Yeah.
You say, well, not even a joke.
Yeah.
But you call, I'm not going to get into it because I'm going to probably say something here.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's where I come into it because I usually always say the wrong thing.
why it's fine is because your intent.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't intend to insult
Yeah.
anyone or hurt someone's feelings.
That's right.
That's madness at the moment. Anyhow,
Anyway.
PCR.
Yep.
What's your wife and kids? Is your kids aware that you're doing this?
Yeah.
How
They're
they feel about it?
devastated. They're absolutely dark as hell because they can't come. My daughter's 14 years old and she's ropeable.
There's got to be some kind of deal where they're allowed to come in and watch.
Yeah.
This supervised.
I think it's also the fact that my wife Amy doesn't want them to.
Oh, okay.
Basically because Amy enjoys having a good time,
Yeah.
and I think that's that as well. She wants to, and I've said to the kids they can watch it live streamed. You know, I think also Amy doesn't want them to watch in case I lose.
Okay.
So
You've got to protect the kids from that.
Remember last year with Michael coming out first with his kids.
I do.
And got whipped.
I do. I remember that.
Yeah.
As soon as it was happening, I was like, "This is bad. This is
Yeah.
a bad idea."
Yeah.
No, it's easy now. He was so injured.
I know. So and that's
His body was just saying, "Now."
Yeah, and that's what I mean. So the reality is yeah. I think keep it over 18. If the kids come there, then they've got to go. Whereas I've got my mum and dad at the fight as well, and you could always send them back up to the room, but Mia would probably sneak out and try and go down the casino or something. So
A couple of cheeky bets on the jockey wheel.
yeah, I'd be angry if she loses.
I see how much your kids are involved in, or how much you are involved in with your kids, which I think is a great thing. Tell me about you got the shirt and the hat on today.
Big shout out to the South Perth Junior Footy Club.
The Stingrays.
Yep. So that's us.
That's you. That's coach.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this. Has it got no sound? Why has it got no sound?
It does. It should have sound.
It's got no sound. It's got no sound. What are you doing?
Anyway, it does have sound. Anyway, so
Not on my clip, mate.
Been annoying. Look, I've been part of the South Perth Junior Footy Club now for 4 years.
Yeah.
Since my son was in year 3. Are
your kids quite sporty?
No, so my kids are far more academic than they are sporty.
Yep.
But Hugo is my son. Is a beast. He's a big boy,
on the field,
solid boy who can tackle. You know, his tackling is just phenomenal. When he tackles someone, they stay tackled.
How old is he?
He's just 12, just turned 12.
Jeez. Okay.
So he goes into year 7 next year. So this is my daughter's first year of playing footy, though.
How well has girls' footy come along?
I love it. So,
madness.
So I'm big on it. So anyway, so how that sort of came about. Last year at the South Perth Stingrays, we had a year 11 and 12 female team. We had a 3-4, so they're combined teams, years 3 and 4, years 5 and 6, years 7 and 8. Last year we had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 11 and 12. We didn't have a 9, 10, right? And we were like, right. A lot of the girls going in the 7 and 8s were in year 7, so they were going to go back up into year 8, so they'd stay in the same team. So this year we were like, fuck, we'd love to get the year 11 and 12s are all 12, so they all left.
Yeah.
We'd love to get a 9, 10 team. So anyway, so I said to Mia, will you sign up, play footy? So if you get 1 or 2 girls sign up, usually then they start sort of coming in.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone in the club chipped in. And Mia signed up, and I said to Mia, I'll give you $10 for every recruit you can get from Penrose.
Nice.
And next minute we had 21 girls, which she claimed she got them all, right? Which I call bullshit. Right? But the best thing was is because so I'm the vice president at the footy club, and so I've got access to all the names and lists and. So all I did was I pulled up the list of names and I said, right, Mia, read them out to me. And I'm like, so what's Hannah's last name? She's like, which one? And I'm like, all right, there's 2 for you. So I think, I ended up paying out about $40.
Oh.
But,
so the girls are going well?
Yeah, girls won the premiership.
Good on you, girls.
Yeah. So, first year playing footy and won a premiership. Mia kicked a goal in the grand final, which I was really proud about. And, I'm heavily involved in it. Like my kids are just everything to me. Like they just are. Like you finally see, like when you got kids, as you would see now, you see the issues and the headaches that your parents went through and stuff like that. And I think to myself, fuck, man, I must have given my parents several heart attacks. Yeah,
The stuff we did.
and it's just crazy. And it's about the kids these days. It's about trying to give them that same freedom and let them experience things on their own, but just be there as a safety net to sort of catch them if they can. But it's harder.
Hard.
It's easier said than done.
Why is it harder now?
Because you just want to protect them. Because,
But our parents did as well, but
I
they
know,
let us go.
And everyone bangs on about saying, "Oh, there's more weirdos in the world these days." Bullshit.
Oh,
there was
more
just
weirdos.
as many. No, there was just as many back then, right? They just drove slower cars, right? That's the thing. So, but the difference is social media. That's what you're trying to protect them from now. Because back in our days, we could be dickheads. You know, you could do a nudie run at the end of a footy game or something like that, right? And the only people that could comment about it were the people that were there.
And you put a beanie on over your face. No, it wasn't me.
There you go. No worries. Nowadays, that shit gets posted and it's done. And most of the time, the issue with that is that 90% of the things that get posted, they're posted when people have been drinking. And you think, oh, that'll be funny. This will be funny. This will be funny. And what people don't also realise is that posting's not only social media, but if you send it through WhatsApp or even iMessage to a friend, as soon as someone else has that, it's fucking gone. You can't get it back. So that's what it's about.
How many careers, sporting careers, have been ruined due to so-called mates recording something funny?
Yeah.
And it's because they can make money out of it.
That's right.
Money.
So anyway, so heavily involved in the footy club, coached the Year 6 boys with Jason Giltay. And we've coached all the way through from Year 3 to Year 6, and we'll coach again Year 7. We'll take them all the way through. I love it. I love the club. I love being able to give back to community, and I especially love the committee down there. I love the effort that everyone goes to. You know, we're all volunteers. No one gets paid.
How good is it when you take money out of something? As soon as you take money out of something, you see who good people are.
Like I thrive on the footy club. Like I really do. Like I'm really passionate about building it up. I run it like a business. And, you know, you're trying to navigate emotion, parents' emotion, criticism. It's the whole package. You know, again, it's a bit of advice that I give a lot of people, especially to my kids and what have you. Like any opportunity to give back to any sort of community, do it.
But that's not how they think now.
No, they don't.
If it's not making you money, why are you doing it?
Yeah, or even if they're not getting something out of it. So like, you know, even down to like, you know, my daughter Mia, she loves working at the canteen down at the footy club, but you know, they have to do community service hours for Penrose. And of course, so as soon as they do it, they're like, you know, can you sign off on my community hours? And you're like, yeah, absolutely, we can do that. So I wonder what's going to happen when they're done, when she's clocked the hours. Will they keep going?
Keep doing it.
You know? And
there's plenty of good things out there, though.
Yeah, but I'd love to see them give back to the community. It's just a good feeling, you know.
Maybe they could get involved in what is she into? She like gardening?
No.
Okay.
No. What's Mia into? Oh, Jesus.
Could do a giant sunflower growing competition.
She's actually an amazing musician, and she just won't do it. She's killing me. She is the most beautiful voice, and I know I sound like a parent. Yeah, right. But she and so during COVID. So this is us. So my wife Amy, love her, but God, not a musical bone in her body. Like, and the kids got me. So during COVID, Hugo taught himself how to play the piano, and Mia taught herself how to play the guitar and ukulele.
Really?
Yeah, and even wrote songs
through YouTube.
No, just on their own, just strung it together. Just
Nice.
So.
Get a lot of those music. Remember the old music books with albums that used to cost like about $60?
Yeah.
Have you seen?
Yeah, I've got so many of them. Like they are the best. Like the
so good
books and all that stuff.
Yeah, and people are just throwing them out now.
Yeah.
It's great. Once I picked up What's the Story, Morning Glory.
What was Hal Leonard was the guy that used.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. I picked up. What did I get? I got What's the story? Morning Glory and Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
The three of them. Siamese Dream. Anyway, we're off topic. Keep going. About your kids.
So anyway, so they did that. So that's them. They're very academic but musically minded. Mia, I think in actually what she's into, I think drama would be an amazing thing for her to do.
My wife's into that.
Yeah.
Just not on TV, just drama in general.
Yeah.
No, I'm just she's just in the other
so I love it. But
they're happy kids?
yeah, real happy kids. Yeah, very
Beautiful.
happy. Yeah.
That's great to hear. That's all you want.
Mia's 14. So my accolade at the moment to myself, my own little medal,
Tell me.
is that I've got a 14-year-old daughter that still hugs me every day and tells me she loves me. Look, the hugs vary in strength every day, and the I love you tends from love your dad to love your dad. That sort of shit. But hey,
It's still a win.
I'd still get it. Like, I've got a lot of friends that have 14-year-old daughters that just don't talk to them, or when I say don't talk to them, just grunt and all that sort of stuff. I try and involve myself in my kids' life as much as I can. The old saying, be present with the kids, not just there. So being there, just turning up and being home from work for dinner is pointless unless you're actually present. If you're present in your kids' life and you actually genuinely ask them about their day, and you try and find out things about their day, and it's about how you ask them about their day. Like if there was one thing that happened to you today that you wish could happen tomorrow, what would it be? Or if there was one thing that happened today that you hope that would never happen again, what would it be? And then let them stew on it. And then guaranteed later on in the day, they'll come back to you. Hugo will come back to me and he'll be like, Dad, that question you asked? He goes, this is what happened today. And then you just sort of chat about it and what have you. So it's really good. It's about just communication.
Spending that time with the kids is priceless, isn't it?
Yeah, well, another thing that I heard, I thought I took it, was actually Hamish Blake said it on one of his podcasts, How Other Dads Dad. And he said that he realised that with kids, you only get 10 to, say, 15 birthdays and you only get 10 to 15 summers with them. And so when you think about it and you break it down to that, you think, shit, with my daughter Mia, I'm at 14, because after that, they don't want to spend summer with you. Birthdays, they've got boyfriends and girlfriends and they want to, over time when they turn 18, they're dropping in. You're just the parents. We all did it with our parents, You're dropping in. So you've only got a finite number of birthdays and summers to spend with them. So when one comes around, spend it with them. Spend that season. Spend the season with them the way the season should be spent. If it's winter, put the fire on. Watch a movie or something like that. If it's summer, get out, get a kayak, go kayaking, go do whatever. Camping. We camp a lot. We love camping, getting out and doing that sort of stuff. So, it's just about being there, being present.
Because it's all over so quick with the kids, isn't it?
Yeah. And before you know it, the old cat's in the cradle, mate. I'm telling you.
Oh,
it's going to kill me.
I said to my family, can we just have one? We don't know how many Christmases we got together. And not this family, not my family, like my parents and brother. Just said, how many more Christmases have we got? Can we just hold it together for one Christmas?
Yeah.
Now.
Well, we've actually just started, and I put it out there with my sister, Cal, and my mum and dad. Cal's kids are all older as well, and I put it out to them. I said, we should all be able to catch up once a month for dinner, right? Our lives are not that busy that we can't catch up as a family.
Surely should be able to, yeah.
So we've just started it.
Okay.
And we've successally done 2 since
Once you get it going, though, and people have got it locked in, that's
right.
it.
And they're the best ever.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're not there for a reason like a birthday or Christmas or anything. And the rule is, because my mum loves to cook, the rule is she's not allowed to cook. Right?
Okay.
We have to get takeaway, just fish and chips or pizza, something like that. So there's no clean up. Everyone gets to sit and relax and take it easy. So it's been
it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. So it's one thing that I'd love to keep going. And again, I'd love to keep going with my kids when they're older. Do that. Once a month catch up. I sort of look forward to being a grandparent sort of thing. I can't wait for my kids to have kids. I'll be definitely one of those grandparents who'll be like, mate, if you need that kid looked after,
Oh, yeah.
Bring it here.
Spoil the kid.
Spoil it.
Send him home.
Spoil it back.
Send him home with him.
My mum and dad, right, I reckon were put on this fucking earth as grandparents, right? They are they were great parents. They are great parents. Love them to death. Right?
Yeah.
Both of them. Love them to death. But holy shit, as a grandparent, they just tip the scales, right? No shit, right? And it's so much so it has to make me laugh. You know, like as soon as we get there, they remind me of my nan and pop so much, right? My nan and pop Pete, who I just loved, I absolutely adored. And it was like as soon as we walk in through the door, and this is from when our kids could walk, from the day they could walk. We'd walk in through the door. The first thing my mum would say to them is, "You want an icy bowl?" It could be fucking 8 o'clock in the morning. "You want an icy bowl?" Yeah. And they'd just be like, "Ah!" And heaven forbid if I said, "Mum, it's 8 o'clock in the morning," and she'd turn around and she'd go, "Don't you talk to me like that." I'd have to be like, like
How good is it when we're going to feed them full of sugar and a new bike, go home?
Yeah, but the other good thing about, and this is where I'd love to take, I'd love to emulate my parents, and I'd love to take just a snippet of this when I get older, is that my mum and dad. So if I rang my mum and I said to my mum, "Could you look after the kids?" Let's say it was a Friday night because Amy and I want to go. Mum would say, "Yes, absolutely. Absolutely." Now, this is when they were younger, you know. Now she'd still do it, but the kids are a bit older to go and stay at their grandparents' house. You know, they'll still will, but they'd rather stay at a friend's house. But back then, Mum would come and pick them up from our place Friday afternoon, so Amy and I could get ready and we'd go out. Then Amy and I'd be hungover Saturday morning. We'd be like, "Oh, here we fucking go." Like, I wonder what time we're going to get the kids back. Anyway, it'd get to 10 o'clock in the morning. I'll be like, I haven't heard from Mum. Better ring her. Ring Mum. "Hey, Mum, how are the kids?" Yeah, they're good. They're fine. Like, I reckon our kids could have shat on the fucking walls and they'd still be like, "It's okay. They're fine. They're fine. Don't worry about it." Anyway, Mum would go, "Look, are you okay if we just keep them for today? Like, we want to take them and do something. Go to the park. We want to get some fish and chips or something like that. We'll spend some time with them." I'm like, "Yeah, cool. That's fine." Because I'm struggling.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
So anyway, it'd get to about 6 o'clock. And I'll be like, I reckon we're pushing the limit now. Ring Mum again. "Hey, Ma, how are you?" So anyway, look, do you want me to come down and get the kids? "Look, Trent, it's 6 o'clock. Look, they may as well just stay tonight as well. Like, they're pretty happy. I've got some clothes down here and stuff for them and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, well, can I talk to them?" "Well, look, they're actually at the back digging holes in the fucking garden with Dad. So I'll get them to call you when they come back in." "All right, no worries." Hang up. We're like, "We got another night off. Like, what do we do with this night off?" Like, we don't know. It's been that long since I hadn't had a night off. I don't know what to do. Anyway, we'd find something to do. The kids would ring at like 7 o'clock, and the kids would be like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Just to see if you're alive. Make sure you're okay." "Yeah, no, we're fine. We're fine." "Okay, cool." So anyway, so we'd go out that night, and of course we're hungover from the night before, so it wouldn't be a big one. So you'd get up Sunday morning, you're feeling fresh now, and you're like, "I wouldn't mind spending a bit of time with the kids." So I ring up Mum. "Hey, Mum, how are you? I'll pop down shortly and get them."
Trying to get them back.
All about that, Trent. "We were thinking that we were going to go down to Matilda Bay foreshore and let the kids have a bit of a swim." "Oh, okay, Mum. You live in fucking Gosnells, so it's a fair, okay, cool." So they'd take away for the day. Get to lunchtime, ring them back again. "How are you?" "Oh, nothing. You know, good. Yeah, we'll keep them for a little longer." They would deliver the kids back to our house at like 6:30 p.m. on Sunday. They've had them since Friday.
Yeah.
Right? Both kids would be bathed. They'd be in pajamas. If Mum didn't have pajamas, she'd go and buy them from Target. Right? Just cheap pajamas, flammable ones.
Highly flammable. You don't want to get it near a naked
They fucking stink like formaldehyde. Right? And then, but not only would they'd be fed, bathed, ready for bed, teeth washed, but Mum would have 2 plates of dinner, like with roast lamb, garlic spuds, broccoli, some carrot, and 2 cobs of corn on it. And she'd bring them in and she'd be like, "This is for you and Amy. Here's your dinner for tonight." So we would get a meal and our kids back completely washed. And it was like the best ever. Like,
But that's exactly what you're going to do to your
100%. Exactly what I'm going to do. You give me those kids on a Friday, you're not getting them back till Sunday night. Like, that's just, they're going to spend time with their grandparents. And my kids, like, absolutely adore my parents, like, and Amy's parents as well. Like, I'm not singling them out off the side or anything like that. I'm talking about mine. But just adore their grandparents. And it's for that reason. Again, as a parent, be present and be there for the kids, As a grandparent, do the same. Be there. Be there for the kids. Be present, Go and watch their sporting achievements, their games and, all that sort of stuff. Go to their assemblies, school assemblies and be there, it's fantastic. I love it.
Too many people chase money, though.
Yeah, well, that's right, yeah.
It's such a shame.
Yep. Exactly
How much regret? How much regret do people have?
Heaps, yeah. Well, I mean, even for me, when we were building our business, we built cable wires and we had another business that we were building at the time as well when our kids were really young, and I did a lot of travel back then. And, and renovating. We renovated a house in Vic Park, and so every weekend I was working outside. And I'd take like a week off work and I'd work all week. I'd be out there at 5:30 in the morning and I wouldn't come back in the house till 8 o'clock at night, Saved a lot of money on the renovation, but, I do regret that. I regret the time that I missed with the kids, being actually present with the kids for that. But, it's something that we did. You can't take it back. All you can do now is just, for the last probably, 10 years, which is still a long time, the kids were still young, that's what I sort of said to Amy when we're renovating our house now in Kensington, that I didn't want to be the one that did all the work, because I didn't want to work during the day, then get home after work and work, and then just come in for dinner and then be tired, go to bed, and do the same things the next day. So
I think, though, missing out on something makes you appreciate this more.
It does, yeah, big time.
You need to taste that pain and that little bit of fear and that little bit of regret, and you go, I'm not going back.
Yeah.
Not doing that again.
Yeah.
So I can have hopefully you recognise it, which you obviously have soon enough. There's some people that, just till I get this house paid off, just till I get this car paid off.
But it's the same for me. I remember, as early as 5, when I was 5 years old, like going camping with Dad, and so we'd go away on family camping trips, and I'd go like a week before everyone else with Dad. And Dad and I'd go and set up all the tents, like his mates' tents and stuff like that for them to come down. We'd set up the whole camp and we'd have our motorbikes there, and me and him would ride motorbikes, for a week. And that's just some of the fondest memories that I've got. And so I've done that with my son now, and my daughter as well when she wants to. But, we go away for week-long camping trips, just the two of us with the dirt bikes, just go riding and have a good laugh, light a fire at night time. And the rule is, so there's only one rule when we go camping, and it's no whinging from either one of us.
Okay.
So I can't tell him that he's up too early. I can't tell him he's up too late. I can't whinge, so he can't whinge either. So it's good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a good attitude to have, because as soon as that whinging comes in.
Oh, man.
The whinging. Yeah. That whinging. Mate, we've covered virtually everything here. We've glossed over the PCR. I'm actually more happy that we talked about you today. I know we went through deep into the PCR. Something, if you like, I'm going to finish off today, because we are about to crack 3 hours. Hope we've covered everything that you wanted to. Just a couple of things I want to ask you. In approximately, 17 days? No, 17 days? Yeah, 17 days. Yep. You've got the your boxing event.
Yep.
After this is all done, you obviously got your hands full with your business, your family.
Yep.
Is there something else that you think is gonna be able to fill the void? Because, like you said, this is one of the toughest and I suppose most of the exciting things you've ever done.
Look, it's the amount of training's been pretty. A lot of pressure on the family. Yeah. Amy's been really supportive through it, really supportive. But I'll definitely keep boxing. I don't know if I would competitive box, if that makes sense. So I may do. It really just depends, again. So my whole life, I've really only ever thought of me. Especially with my hobbies and what have you. Like, I'm one of these guys, I get a hobby. Like, I've done everything, man, from squash, tennis, downhill mountain bike riding and all that sort of stuff, And I'll start off, like, with say, mountain bike riding, buying a cheap, shitty $600 bike, and someone says, hey, do you want to go for a ride Gungeon, you go for a ride and you have a bit of a ride up, a bit of a ride down, you go, oh, that's amazing. I'm going to go out and do it again. Next minute, that bike's gone, $2,000 bike sport. And next minute, you do it again. Next minute, you do it again. And next minute, you're bloody out. I end up being sponsored by Nolly, which is a Canadian mountain bike brand. And so they sent me over a couple of bike frames and built these bikes up. And then I started racing state downhill for WA. And I immersed myself so hard into it that I was riding all the time. Like every weekend I was out till lunchtime riding. Race days, I was away Saturday, Sunday on race days and all that sort of stuff. And I think I forgot during that time, I forgot to think about other people. I forgot to think about the pressure that was on the family. Like I was very selfish. I just thought about myself.
Talking about the wife and kids?
Yeah. And... yeah, and even when Amy would sort of say to me, she'd be like, oh, you're gone all bloody weekend. I'd get a bit like, oh, fuck you, what are you talking about? Like, this is what I want to do. Why can't I do this? And I think as you get older, you sort of realise that, hang on a minute, like, everything has to swing both ways. So I love boxing. I love it. Because you can do it early in the morning. So I love getting up. I'm an early riser, so I love getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I love going to the gym at 5:45. I love being back by 7. I'm there with the kids in the morning, help them get ready to school, can drop them off at school and do all that sort of stuff. This one here it's the nighttime trainings and the weekend trainings that's really sort of tested those boundaries because 6:45 p.m. when you get home, you try and have dinner. I love having dinner with my family. Like that's like it's one of my favourite things. And so to go and train twice a week, Tuesday, Thursday, 6:45 through to 8:30, and then Saturday from 9 till 11 both days. It's grueling, and I think the thing that gets you through it is that it's 8 weeks of that. So moving on from here, if I was to do this or continue to do it, because I am that type of person, trust me, I am the kind of guy that will do. I'll come out of this ring going, I'm going to do that.
That's it.
Yeah. It would be navigating that and navigating how to do the training. So if I could train early mornings, I'd train 7 days a week at 5:45.
You're a morning person?
Yeah, big time.
Okay.
And then that's how I would do it. But yeah, if the only way that I could do this again or compete again is by training in the afternoons or evenings and stuff like that, then I'd probably have to say no. Okay.
You've got plenty of options.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. It's just about thinking about other people, The kids are getting older now. The kids, they don't require so much attention per se. Like, like the kids can stay home on their own. Now they can get ready on their own and go to school on their own and all that sort of stuff. So
the fact that you can mentally commit and not half-ass something, though, puts you in a very small percentage of people. A lot of people will talk a big game, but then, drop the ball very quickly. It sounds like once you have, whether it's due to your upbringing, like whether your dad said, finishing trades or school, it seems like once you've actually mentally committed to something, that's it. It's.
I just love to see how far I can take things, and also just getting outside their comfort zone.
It's not a bad thing.
That's the reality. Like a lot of people won't take up a sport unless it's with their friends. Like I look at that at the kids these days. Hugo not so much, but Mia definitely. Like when she was trying to pick a sport to do, whether it be football or netball, it was really revolving around her friends. Like whether her friends wanted to do it as well or didn't they? I can't ever remember being like that. I would just go, fuck, I'll give it a go. And you give it a go, and then like you meet all these new people. Like say, take boxing for instance. Like I started boxing at Anarchy, and Tim D'Souza was going down there, and that was great because I knew him, but I didn't know a single soul down there at all. And it's not like it was cliquey, but because you're on pads and gloves, people have their partners that they want to partner up with. And then so if you're always partnering with the same person, if that person's not there, then you're sort of a bit of like a deer in the headlights. Oh, who am I going to partner with? So I try and get down and mix it up a little bit, spar with different people.
All right.
But yeah, I enjoy doing that. I enjoy going down, getting outside your comfort zone and just seeing how far you can take things, and who knows? My theory on anything is if you don't give it a go, you'll never know how good you are at it, You look at Tiger Woods, you look at all these great sportsmen. They were pushed into it at a young age. But, you never know how good. Cam Smith, another golfer, right? You don't know how good you're going to be until you give it a go, right? You've got some real unorthodox people out there that play sports. And you think at some stage they thought, I'll give that a go and I'll just keep going with that until I get good at it.
If you love it.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to do it, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And that's what I love about boxing. I love how much energy it consumes. And I love the fact that you can wake up, and everyone would have felt like this. So you can wake up in the morning and go, there's no way I'm going today. There's no way. And you'll make excuses in your head. I'm sore, or I'm tired, or I didn't sleep very well. And then you sort of go, oh, fuck, just go. And when you're in the car and you're halfway there, you start feeling a bit better. Guaranteed by the time you finish the session and you're in your car going home,
$1 million.
you are ready to take on the world. Yeah. And I don't think I've ever felt like that on any other hobby or sport that I've done. You know, like even with music, like, you know, if you can't be bothered going to a jam session or something like that, you jam. When you're on your way home, you don't feel like you've conquered the world.
Something different about
mountain biking, all that sort of
it?
stuff. When you finish, you're still like, oh, fuck, got to get home and wash the bike, got to do all this sort of stuff. Right? Boxing, you're like, gym bag, in the car, I'll deal with that tomorrow. You know?
The wife will.
Yeah.
I'll deal with that in 3 days.
That's exactly when I have to put it all back on. You pull your wraps out and they're just just a stinky bull. Look, I came here from a PT session and I could smell the wraps on me.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't smell you when you walked in.
Yeah. So, fucking terrible. So everything. I remember Gleno, actually, just one thing more. Just Gleno giving me that feedback. I said, what's it like when I signed up? And he said, I'll give you boxing in one snippet. He goes, the very start, the first few weeks, you'll be meticulous with all your gear. You'll have all your gear. Everything will be perfect. You'll be wiping your gloves. You'll be rolling your wraps up. You'll be doing all this stuff. He goes, week 6, your car will smell like a fucking gym and you will not give a shit. And that is exactly how my car is now. I've got sweat stains on the seats, like just from getting in the car soaking wet and stuff like. Because the first couple of weeks I'd change my top and make sure I put a towel down and stuff like. Now I'm like, oh, fuck it, I don't care. I'll clean it after the fight.
Some of the smells coming out of the bags when I've gone through, I was like, this thing hasn't been opened since last training session.
Or when you realise you haven't washed your water bottle for 4 weeks and you're like still drinking out of it, you put your finger in, it's all slimy and you're like, oh, I'll wash it tomorrow.
Oh, mate, 3 hours have cracked.
Yep.
This has been, have we covered everything that you've wanted to in this one? You can always come back. How about you?
I actually do. So I will be one of the ones that comes back after it. I will, win or lose, I'd love to come back.
Should you? Book that in.
To talk, just about the experience, about the night. Mainly for me coming back in, I really want to try and encourage people to put their hand up and do this. Sponsorship is a difficult thing to get if you don't own your own business and stuff like that, of course, or work in a business where they're comfortable to do it. But I'd like to maybe start a partnering system with PCR, and I need to run this. It's very new. This has only just come to me, so I haven't run this past Glenn and Nige. But I'd like to be involved more in the PCR from this, and maybe try and match sponsors together. Like I'd like to actually get a fighter. Meet them, learn about them, learn what they want to get out of it and what have you, then get them to almost put a business case together for that fight, and then I'll take it to other businesses and present it to businesses and try and get them to sponsor and trying to get other businesses to come in and do sponsorship for it. Because it's like anything, one thing I've learned about being at the top end of a footy club and what have you, it all is relying on sponsorship. Sponsors are key. They're the most critical things. We need them there. Without sponsorship, the event just won't go ahead.
Doesn't happen.
There's a lot of money that these boys have to put down before the actual fight, before they sell tickets. There's a lot of outlay, and sponsors are key. And it's like, speaking of Justin, especially, he was meant to fight last time and he couldn't get a sponsor. And it made me think that how many people out there that it could be a life-changing opportunity for them.
Oh, yeah.
And for them not to be
a
able to...
life-saving opportunity.
And for them not to be able to do it just because they can't get a sponsor. There's a lot of sponsors out there and again, like, I know I'm digressing a little bit more, but there's two types of sponsors. One that wants to see just that person be the best they can be. Same thing with a footy club. You know, you can be a jumper sponsor, you can be this. And what it is, it's about a company or a person giving a charity or a community club money because they know that community club can't get that money on their own, so they're supporting them. That's one sponsor. Then you've got the sponsor that demands that they get a return on investment. And they're not the sponsors that I want. I don't want. I want sponsors that are just willing to give money or be there to help, you know, not demand or expect something back for it. Because if you demand something back for it, then chances are you're never going to be happy with what you get back. People ask me what's Cable-wise got out of it. You know, it's certainly not something, but we have picked up some big contracts out of PCR. To me, they're just a cherry on top of why we do it. You know? So I'd love to actually get out there. I'd love to help those boys with a bit of a sponsorship drive and get around and see some businesses and actually promote Perth Corporate Rumble and try and bring more sponsors on board, especially just to sponsor some fighters. You know, I'd love every single fighter. I'd love the boys to have to whittle down the fighters based on their ability and skill and their story. You know, for people to actually apply for it, give them a bit of a background on why they're applying for it, like they do now, and make sure that they're getting the right fighters and not just the fighters that can that can afford it. You know? So that's the ticket. So we just need more sponsors.
There's plenty of applicants, mate.
Yeah.
I know that much.
Yeah.
So. Beautiful.
Cool.
That sounds great. I like that. I've really enjoyed today. Not saying I haven't enjoyed the other guy, but I've particularly enjoyed today, mate. You do like to chat. I love it when I get to sit back and just listen rather than chat. But, mate.
All right. Thanks very much for
it has been an absolute pleasure. And I'll after we turn the cameras off here, I'll let you know my availability for post October 7th. Yeah. Mate, I want to wish you all the best for the next 28 days.
Yeah,
thank you so much for coming in. And, I'll see you at training soon anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm not there, so I won't be there tomorrow night. I've got my daughter's Best and Fairest presentation.
Beautiful.
So, and the footy club, so I've got to get down there. So, but yeah, I'll be there Saturday, Sunday. And,
mate, give my best to the Notorious Reds.
I will. Absolutely.
And I look forward to seeing you on the night, but seeing you at training very soon.
Beauty.
Thanks, mate.
Champion.